Today's discussion is about a particular, maybe not accurate to call it subgenre, but a particular trend in games that's gotten popular the last, I would say, 2 or 3 years, but definitely has been around for a bit longer than that. That has come to be known as Friendslop. Alternatively, you could consider them to be like content farm games, basically the sort of game that you are likely to find trending on any given Twitch streamer or YouTube schedule for video games.
But now, what would you say actually defines a friend slop game? Like, what are the elements that
for
make it friend slop?
for me, Friendslop games to be like a true Friendslop game instead of just a game that plays very well with friends, it has to be mechanically quite simple, and it relies heavily on the people that you're playing with to kind of create the momentum of the game. So obviously, we're going to be hitting a few of the more well-known ones, but we're mostly going to be discussing the ones that we personally have experience with. Not all of us, but at least a few of us have played together on a number of times.
Yeah, I'd also like to add that friend slot games are usually cheaply made and inexpensive. So
I just punched this in the Gemini. What is a friend slop game? And you guys, everyone basically hit the point. It basically defined a friend slop game as, or often includes low price point, simple core mechanics, emphasis on cooperative gameplay, high potential for emergent comedy,
I was
and
going to add that.
streamer friendly.
I just was gonna say it's co-op.
This kind of
like the
goes
most
along.
basic.
This kind of goes along with the emergent content, but like unpredictability tends to be
And
not
like,
always, but it tends to be a factor.
Like last night.
I wouldn't say co-op is like, I mean, there will usually be co-op elements, but there can be competitive elements as well,
Yeah.
right? We've got some where it's like an asymmetric kind of experience where one or more players are on one side and the rest are against.
So that's why, like, I see it like more as like the. Personally, I don't really like to consider the versus ones friend slop. I see it more as the co-op ones.
yeah, I'm not sure if I would call
There's
something like
a
Left 4
point
Dead.
I
Like
I
Left
mean,
4
I
Dead
see
wouldn't
how they
really be
fit
friend
in.
slop.
There's a point
yeah.
I want to touch on when we get to it, but the versus aspect is kind of something I want to bring up.
I just wanted to say, like, I do get how it fits in. Like when you're saying that the games kind of depend on who you're playing with. Like when you have your friends to play with, that makes sense for something like Dale and Dawson, which would be versus. So I do see how it fits in, but I just kind of was thinking more just specific co-op for what would be friend slop.
Okay. Well, we should maybe go over the list of games that we're going to be discussing today. So again, these are all games that we have at least played as a group together. If not everyone in the discussion today has played them together, but at least most of us have.
Nick, you should share your screen.
Well,
So
I'm not really recording anything.
Are we still doing tier list or
Hell yeah!
Okay, well then.
Wait.
Oh, I thought we decided we were. I thought we decided we were
that.
just going to discuss it.
Oh,
I figured
okay.
Nothing.
We can just do roundtable discussion.
I figured we
don't
could
need
discuss
to-
it, and at the very end, just do a real quick tier list.
Sure.
Just like
Yeah.
I like the idea of ranking them, but
I mean, if we're
What
feeling
do
up
I
for it by
know?
the end of the discussion, if we want to do a quick slapdash ranking, we can still do that.
Yeah, whoever's
anyways, so
whoever's
going
editing
over
can throw
our-
something together like that too. Anyway,
Going over our list here, so we've categorized these games kind of based on that loose definition of Friendslop, and the probably one of the earliest ones would be Among Us.
Who's your daddy?
Followed by, and yeah, Who's Your Daddy? Technically the oldest game we have on our list, but Phasmophobia is another one we classified in that category. Of course, Lethal Company is kind of the poster boy for the Friendslop genre, kind of responsible for popularizing it as a trend, at least. Content Warning is another one that we've played. Liar's Bar is kind of an edge case here, but I think there's enough of a case to be made for it to be included in this category, so we'll be discussing that. Dale and Dawson Stationery and Supplies is on our list. Of course, R.E.P.O is on our list as well. Peak is another one, of course. And then finally, probably going to be the one people are least familiar with on the list because it's newer and hasn't really taken off as far as I can tell. But Last Train for Out of Wormtown is another one we'll be talking about.
Wormtown.
So, if anybody else has any opening thoughts that we want to get into of a more general note before we get into specific titles?
Nope.
I mean,
okay.
not really.
Let's kick this pig.
All right. I guess we didn't really decide on an order on who wants to talk first, especially since some of these, like, I won't have anything to say
it could be
Phasmophobia.
discussion.
Dave, you and I, we should start with the OG. Who's your daddy? As far as I know, you and I were the first ones that played it way back in the day before we brought it back for one round and quickly realized it's
jank.
Jank. Oh, fuck. Not that it wasn't jank in the beginning, but the jank was on full display when there were more than two people.
Like, you guys actually played it once.
I quite preferred the jank it had early on. Like, I much prefer what we played way back in the day as, like, compared to what we played most recently. I think there was a much more comfortable level of jank, and while there were fewer mechanics, and I think some of the mechanics that they added were good, like some of the ways that they expanded things were good, some of them were not, and they cause way too much chaos to the point where the game is uncontrollable.
There was points where it was unplayable.
Everybody.
Yeah, that was Who's Your Daddy on our list today is kind of like, it's kind of my case study for, like, all the things that you can do wrong when you're trying to churn out one of these. Like mistaking the jank that we're talking about for the simplicity that's meant to create, like, fun for players, and instead it's just extremely frustrating. And then you're angry at the game and you're angry at your friends, that's not funny. That's just annoying.
Which is a huge shame, because back when me and Roger originally played it, it was honestly better for not having shit like the iPad that you can order. Did it
always feel, because for me it felt so lopsided that, like, the dads have, like, fucking nothing they can do, it felt like to me.
Sorry,
the dads have a shit ton they can do, and especially now, because they can, like, set up the baby gates that the baby has to do the weird fucking puzzle to get out of. But,
like, to stop the babies from killing themselves? Like, it's so easy for the babies to die.
If you catch them and put them in the baby gates... I mean, Roger, maybe you know something I don't, but I have no idea how you're actually supposed to solve that puzzle. Like, my understanding is it's basically a code, but I don't know how you get the code. I don't know how you figure that out.
For the baby gate?
Yeah. Like the little baby pen thing?
I don't think we ever... I think I always... Anytime I was in it...
the baby pen. Babies would just get, like, put in a room and then they would immediately leave the room.
I had the baby pen used on me, like, twice, and I couldn't fucking get out of it.
Oh, I think I had it used on me once, I just glitched out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember just kind of jumping out of it. But... Well, that just adds into the whole jank of it, especially if you consider it's one of the older games that we're going to talk about, and it's still that janky.
Yeah, I mean, part of that
when the
probably.
hell was it last update?
I was gonna say, didn't they like the version we played most recently was like apparently like a entire rebuild of, right?
It was like, yeah, I thought it was like a pseudo remake of sorts.
June 27th, right?
I mean, I had more fun when it was just Dave and me playing it because, yeah, it's geared towards the baby having the advantage, but the dad definitely wasn't. It wasn't out of the dad's hand to not win a game or two because, I mean, it kind of all just came down to RNG where stuff spawned. But if the stuff spawned right, the dad would have an overwhelming victory.
And I think
just
the ability,
within a minute,
with the ability to like order things,
that's silly.
Like the dad can get an insane advantage, but the problem is half of those things don't work half the time, and you really have to balance the number of dads versus babies. I do like that they added the ability to play with more dads and more babies, but
I don't know. I was always fine with it being 1v1 basically.
1v1 was very nice, but
I would imagine it would feel a lot better that way. For sure.
It almost feels like that's how it was meant to be played.
Half the fun was always being the dad and just discovering the child drowning in a bathtub.
I thought it was just supposed to be like, because I saw the original build, I never played it, but I thought it was just 1v1. So when it was getting,
that was the original.
Yeah, but so when it was getting suggested to play, I'm like, I didn't realize it was even like more than that. But I don't know. It seemed like, as far as what we saw, it was one of those things that was just kind of funny to just laugh at it once and then be like, all right.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny in the beginning, but then all of a sudden, the Unity jank really started to show, and it shows what happens when you don't optimize physics objects, and that my frames are dipping to single digits.
That was so bad.
It wasn't even just like, the whole unfairness of like, the dads being at a disadvantage, but just that there was just points where the game just straight up just was not working.
Yeah. Weirdly, we never actually had any crashes from, like, people didn't get booted as
No.
Somebody
people would get like soft locked on stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I had that where I just couldn't interact with anything. I could just walk around and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had that issue too.
So I would say Who's Your Daddy definitely like feels like if somebody is like vehemently against this sort of quote unquote lazy game design, like this is probably what they're thinking of, I would say.
I would say for this list, it feels like it's the honorable mention of the list.
What's interesting to me is that it feels like the design got lazier. Because I think the original design had a lot more potential to work on, and it had a lot more thought put into it, despite its simplicity. But as they added things, that definitely felt like they were just tacking things on.
We gotta get that Lethal Company audience, man.
Well, it felt like it was going way more towards chaos, but they went too far in that direction.
Yeah. So if we're gonna, just for the hell of it, let's slap a tier onto it.
Time limit. Oh, a tier? Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Well, I was also going to ask for a score out of 5 from everybody after we're done.
Well, yeah, we could do that.
I'm committing to this.
Let's do.
Okay, I just figured. Wait.
I agree with that because this way we can have our discussion, and if like people kind of like change their mind as we have discussions about the other games, like that might be nice to have by the end of it, when we actually go like, okay, this one's I call this a D, or I call this a 1 out of 5 or whatever.
Okay, yeah, we'll just say 1 out of 5 for each of the, because there's 5 tiers, and then we'll just.
I will second that motion.
Okay. So you guys want to come up with tiers at the end of the whole recording? Or?
Yeah, why not?
I would say at the end.
Okay.
That's what
After
I
we
was going to
discuss
say.
everything.
I figure we should.
Okay.
I want to say discuss it so we can kind of get all our ideas and weigh everything before we throw it into the tier list.
Okay.
Okay.
So moving right along, then, if you guys are done talking about Who's Your Daddy,
Well, if we're gonna move on, now let's score it.
No, we're doing it at the
No,
end.
we're doing
No,
that at the
no.
end.
No, we're collecting scores
Yeah.
now.
I figure,
and
we
then
score them when we're done talking about it, and then the
Okay.
Okay.
So-
I was.
Yeah.
one by one. We'll start with Andy. How would you rate Who's
Why
Your
do I
Daddy
gotta
out of
start
5?
this?
Because you have the letter A.
Because I typed
Yeah.
your name first.
Okay.
And if you want to throw decimals in there, go right the
Yeah.
fucking head. It's gonna
I'm
get
not
out
going to be
up
fucking
anyway.
pedantic about this, but I'm going to go with a 1.
Oof.
Nick, what saith you?
I think I'm also gonna go with a 1 because, yeah, I think we all kind of got the impression that we just weren't enjoying ourselves that much with it.
Next on Bozeman.
I mean, it's not like it wasn't fun.
That's a 1
it
for me as well.
It was the jankiness that really ruins it.
Go with Roger.
2.5.
2.5.
Just 'cause-
Oh, fuck you.
Well, I had fun with it when it was just, like I said, 1v1. It was
Yeah.
good time. But
Unfortunately,
yeah,
I don't have those
yeah.
memories with it, so I don't apply them to my score. But
Same.
yeah, I understand your reasoning though.
How about Tony?
I'd have to abstain. I have never played it.
Well, I think
What?
we
I thought you did play it with us.
Nope.
Well, I feel like we're still
I
gonna
must have been
need
gone.
your score just for like the sake of averages
No,
for the ones he
no.
has.
No.
You just don't.
I'm not
don't
going to be
mind.
giving
Yeah,
any
I
votes
just-
on
I
games I
just-
didn't play.
Yeah, if I
Well-
didn't play a game, I mean,
I mean, are we
Not that
just?
I
Is he
have
just
not
gonna
played
have to? But then it wouldn't.
he's
be,
just gonna not. He's just not including the average.
I'm just gonna mark NA and not count him towards the average.
Yeah, it's not a
Oh,
problem.
I forgot it's an average. For some reason, I thought we were like gonna add them up and. Okay, if it's an average, then yeah, it's
Nick, you-
whatever.
Nick-
No, I
using
need to be the
those-
jerk and give
Nick
an
using
opinion
those
and
high
a
school
score on it,
math
even though I
skills.
never played it.
Well, I could-
0.
Yeah.
Yes, I
No,
want
you
that.
gotta give it the Games Journalist score 5 out of 5 because it had his
If it was good, I would have played it.
something.
Okay, who's left
What?
then?
Huge fan
That'd be
of
me.
Just
Earthbound.
David,
Excited
then?
to play Earthbound.
I going to give it a 0.8 because unlike
Wow.
Roger, I'm not going to be soft on it because of the fond memories. In fact, the fond memories are going to make me be that much harsher towards what it has turned into.
Ouch.
Oh, that's fair enough. Like, yeah, I can understand that. Like, if you have something that you really love from your childhood and they butcher it.
I think there was a lot of room to grow with that game, and I think they messed it up. It's not beyond salvation, but I don't see any interest in the developers to salvage that mess. So they're gonna get a 0.8 from me.
All right.
All right.
Well, if that's everyone, then we can move on. I'll let you
Yep.
do the honors, Bozeman.
Sure. So I guess we kind of proceed in roughly either, release order or order that we played them in.
Let's just go down the list that Nick
yeah,
posted in Discord.
Next,
Yeah.
well, we
I mean,
were until you guys insisted on Who's Your Daddy first, but yeah, Among Us would be next, going by that order.
Among Us.
Isn't that looking roughly in release order?
Or
Among
it's
Us.
roughly, yeah. But
Yeah.
That's what I have on my notepad here anyway.
All right, which one of you
I just
sussy
took- I
bacchus
just
wants
took
to
the
kick
list
us
and
off?
swapped Who's Your Daddy to the top.
I mean, which one of us has played the most? Because I remember I did a few sessions with Dave, Roger, and some other folks.
I mean, I played a little bit. I mean, I'm still pretty familiar with it regardless.
yeah, I remember it pretty well. Like, to the point where I have enough to say about it, so. It was a long time ago. It was like back during
Nick,
the
why
early
don't you-
days of.
Why don't you start us off then, Nick?
Okay, yeah, I remember. Well, Among Us first came out. Well, I think it came out before like the pandemic started, but it really got popular during that when people couldn't
I
hang
mean,
out
it
in
was
person.
Hold on,
it was
let's
like
see
what
came out.
2-3 years old.
Yeah, I think so. It was something
before
like
it
that.
before it actually caught on.
Among Us. Let me see what it is here. Came out November 16th, 2018.
Wow, yeah. So yeah, you're right. It was out for at least 2 years before it really got popular. But yeah, it exploded.
And it,
You know.
I'm very sure that it did not explode during pandemic. It exploded well,
Oh yeah, I
like
want to say
decently
yeah.
before pandemic.
I remember playing it Saturday nights like during that time. But yeah, not important though. The important thing is what we think of the game. But for me, like, it was kind of an early example of like a social deduction game, or one of the first ones that I remember really playing and getting into.
I mean, social deduction has been around for a very long time. Like, I'm pretty sure Secret Hitler came out at least like before or around the time that Among Us actually came out.
Yeah, but I remember
Like,
Among Us.
social deduction as a concept has been around for a pretty long time.
Yeah, but I know Among Us is probably one of the first things that I really got into. I think I did play Secret Hitler, or what was that, the werewolf game?
Yeah,
I remember playing that once.
Mafia.
So yeah, I knew it existed. I was familiar with it, but Among Us was the first one that I really actually put a lot of time into. So
I love me some Secret Hitler. I hate werewolf and Mafia because of most of the people that I've ever played it with.
Yeah, but honestly, this podcast isn't really about those.
I am not going to let Alec poison me against Secret Hitler. We don't need to say the line.
I'm not saying the line.
I'm not going to let Alec poison me against Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
All right, let's
stay on topic.
On track here.
Among Us. Like,
I think Among Us might be one of the first times I've seen social deduction video gameized. Like,
there were a few werewolf likes that also were video games. I can't remember the names of them. I want to say they came out around the same time as Among Us. There was a bit of a bump in that whole social deduction type trend around the same time.
Like, did they happen around the same time that Among Us came out, or around the same time that Among Us became popular? Because they're two very different things.
If Eric was here, he'd be able to tell us, because the one in particular I'm thinking of too. He played a lot of it. It's like a village game. I can't remember what it is. But anyways, again, we're getting off topic a little bit.
Yeah.
Nick, where
Stop
were you?
talking about our other friends.
Well, I mean,
again, I know a lot of people give Lethal Company as kind of the poster child, almost grandfather of this whole Friendslop thing, but Among Us kind of did a lot of that stuff long before then.
I would say Among Us is, in some technicality, the proto Friendslop.
Yes, it's the progenitor. Yeah. Is how I look at it.
It's like, Who's Your Daddy came out first, but it's not the one that really like made the idea of turning social interaction into content a thing. And like, I'm not even really gonna say that's the game's fault, because that's streamers' faults for turning Among Us into what it became and basically spawning the Friendslop genre.
Another thing about Among Us, I remember it got really popular among kids, and I feel like a lot of the kids didn't even really play it right. Or like they had more fun watching people play it than actually playing it themselves, and it's like that kind of annoyed me a bit.
Among Us is definitely more of a it's more fun to watch your favorite streamer play it than.
That's what I wanted to say too, because honestly, never really cared for Among Us.
I wasn't.
I think it's
much either.
It's much more fun to watch. It gives me too much anxiety to play it.
I feel like I'm gonna go against the grain here, because I really liked Among Us, and I feel like with the crowds we're pulling on Saturday nights these days,
that we could try.
We have enough to fucking justify actually busting that game out again.
All right.
I wouldn't be opposed.
I would absolutely not mind that.
We did Among Us we did it in fucking Killing Floor 2, remember?
Oh, that doesn't.
Yeah, it does. We were on the Scald.
Yeah.
We were on the Scald. We were doing missions.
Yeah, but it wasn't like social deduction type thing. But
yeah, it was. We deduced that the
Zeds did it.
The Zeds did it.
We had to kill the Zeds. They were the imposters.
And who did we fight? The Blob was the imposter.
I
the
feel
abomination.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm going counter to the group here. I really did like Among Us. I enjoyed that a lot, because I mean, it was a lot of my favorite aspects of Secret Hitler, and it's just kind of fun to like poke and prod at people and piss them off and see if you can get them to give themselves away. And I thought that was really entertaining. I liked the aspect of like when you're trying to do tasks around the space station or the moon base or whatever the fuck map you were on. Like they were little mini games. They were simple, but they were I wouldn't say engaging, but like
Yeah,
They kept my ADD brain occupied enough.
like they gave you something to do that didn't fucking piss you off and annoy you. Like it was simple to do, but like it was cute and it wasn't annoying.
I'm gonna follow up on that because you're landing on the same thing that I kind of found was weak about it. So for me, like playing as a normal spaceman was just a overall unenjoyable experience. I did not find the tasks to be entertaining. I found them really dull and repetitive.
I mean, they were, but I wouldn't say they were unfun. Like they gave you a thing to do, and they made it not brain dead. Like you had to think for 2 seconds to do something, and
The whole point
maybe
of
They
that-
just weren't.
maybe
They
that
felt like I was. It felt like I was being asked to play like stupid little like those collections of phone games. You know, it's like 100 mini games. Like I was
the
like
way
that's what I'm being asked to be done or
The
to
point
be
of the
doing.
mini games is to just take your attention away for 2 seconds, so the imposter has a chance to.
Of course, but I
fuck
think
with you.
I think there could be
I mean,
better ways of doing
the way
that.
I looked
Is what I'm
the
getting
way
at.
I saw it was opening up a newspaper to the games page or whatever the fuck they call it. Like just
The
really,
funnies?
I mean I don't
The daily
get,
crossword.
I don't get the newspaper, so I
Jumble?
don't know how this shit actually works.
What is
like-
a newspaper?
I'm gonna fucking equate it to that. Yeah, all the Zoomers and the all
with their
Zero
newspapers.
negative one all negative one Zoomers who are watching us won't know what a newspaper is. But I equate it to like basically opening up the games section of a newspaper or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where it's just a really dumb, like it's not engaging, but it's there, it's simple, it takes you like 2 seconds, you do it, and I did appreciate that they were always random, because like I've definitely played games before where they throw that kind of shit at you, but it's not random. There's set patterns that repeat,
Mhm.
and they don't do that, so that I liked that. They aren't great. They're not. I wouldn't call them fun, but they serve their purpose well. Like as Roger said, it's something to forcefully engage you to give the imposter time to fuck around and off somebody or whatever they want to do.
Okay.
And
We've been on Among Us for about 15 minutes, so
Okay,
yeah.
Can I?
I think
didn't get the
they serve
chance
their
to.
purpose. I like what they do. I wouldn't call them fun, but I think they are mechanically sound and fit perfectly within the spirit of the game.
Okay. You want to finish this
I
one?
like them.
I
I
got-
like Among
Yeah,
Us.
we get what you're trying to say.
We
David.
get that, David.
Yeah,
can I
we gotta move
finish
on
my
now.
thoughts because you kind of talked over me a bit when I was trying to deliver some points. I just want to say one last thing because it is going to be relevant for the discussion on some of the later games. One big weakness for me with Among Us is the downtime when you're dead. There's really nothing for you to do.
Yeah, I guess you're basically done until the end of the round.
You're done. You're just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, I guess that is a
that's
problem.
the thing that I put a point against it. So we can move on to
Well,
ranking.
hang on a sec. Andy,
between us.
I feel like you kind of got talked over a bit too. Did you have more to add to Among Us?
Not really. I mean, I don't want to say that I actually hated it. My problem was just that it was either. I mean, I'll back up Bozeman with just like I didn't think the mini game that all that fun. So my choices were either be bored as just the regular spaceman or have massive as the imposter.
Yeah, I get it, and I also get
That's-
what Bozen's getting at. Where like once you're dead, or like
Yeah.
once you're ousted as the imposter, it's like okay, now what? You're
I will
basically
say
waiting until the
that
game is done.
the death aspect is a fair point, but that does seem to be an unfortunate consequence of most social deduction games.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why I wanted to bring it up because it's going to be coming up a few times, and I think it's something that we
Yeah.
kind of we'll have a chance to touch on for each one individually.
But
I would say like though, just I didn't. It's not that I don't think that was not fun. It's just not quite for me, I guess.
I wouldn't mind, firing it up on a Saturday night again, just because it's been so long.
Like I said,
but-
we've
Same.
like most of the reason, at least
It's
that
been long
I
enough,
felt,
too.
is that we, for a good long time, haven't had the crowds to make it work, because that is a game where you need a lot of people.
Yeah.
And lately, we've been getting Josh as a regular lately.
Yeah. So
And
we've been having
did
like
He was the
not
first one
use
8 or
last
9
night.
people sometimes. But anyway, like, let's jump into the scoring then. So
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Andy, you can start
same
us
order,
off
same
then.
order.
Call it out, Dave.
Same order because I copied and pasted. Andy, you are first.
I'll give this one a 2.5.
2.5. Harsh. But fair. Nick?
All right, I'm gonna give this a 3. I guess another thing I should mention about it is I remember back in those days of the Saturday nights, our main games were like Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. I remember Among Us was one of the first things that kind of broke from that mold a little bit, so I kind of give it props for that.
I remember Smash Bros.
So I'll give it a
I
3.
remember Smash Bros. Bozeman, you are up next.
I'm going with the same score as Andy, so that'll be a 2 point.
Ah, damn. Roger.
4.
Wow.
Ooh. Tony.
I gotta abstain. Never played it.
Really?
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I remember you playing with us
Nope.
back in the day.
Never downloaded it. Didn't. I'd
Wow,
either
that
show
is-
up late, you guys are already playing it. I'd watch you, and I'd go, "This is not for me."
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
We're gonna
I
be
am
hearing that a
going
lot from you
to.
tonight.
I'm gonna actually sit in Roger's camp. I'm gonna go a bit higher though, but I'm gonna give it 4.5.
All right.
I really like what Among Us does.
I like playing either side, imposter or just the regular space boy.
I'd say we should try Among Us 3D, but I've heard some not so good things.
It's not good.
I liked the Alpha Rad video on it, but I've
yeah.
heard some not good things.
Okay. You guys ready to move
All right.
on then?
Move on.
Seems like
Phasmophobia.
We
is
want
next.
Tony to start this one out.
Yeah, Tony, start
Hold out
us
there.
out. Say Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
There, we started.
All right, let's get a score going then.
Wow.
Well, yeah, this is one where I've probably played it the least out of all of us. So I'd have probably the least to say about it, but I mean,
I
think I'd be wrong
literally
for that.
never played it, so I got you beat.
are you going to abstain then?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about it.
Spoiler alert.
I'll-
God, Nick.
Well, it's because I have little to say
I
about
get
it. I'll
it,
get it
but
out of the
I
way
get
right
it.
away.
I like the scoring and not discuss it. I see.
But I will say, I mean, I'm familiar with Ghost Adventures because my wife likes to watch it a lot. So, and I get it; it's trying to be that, and in that regard, it does succeed pretty well. And as far as these other Friendslop games, it does seem like it has slightly higher production values and stuff too. So, yeah, I give it props
oh my
for
god,
that.
they need to fix the people models.
Yeah,
like,
they ain't great, but I mean,
fine.
I appreciate
It's
them
fine.
for the
It's just-
jank.
It's
But-
just the default Unity one. Just leave them alone.
It's one of those things where, I mean, Roger, you and I talked about this a good long while ago, where people kind of quickly got this game refined down to a hard science, where they were playing it as a game and not as an experience. Like, we started playing it as a game. I don't know if we ever quite hit, or no, sorry, scratch that, roll back. We started playing it as an experience. I don't know if we ever quite hit the level of understanding and like pro level of playing it as a game, but
No.
like people got this game ironed out mechanically pretty fast. And I know they've made some changes and updates that kind of upended some of that, but it didn't really stop them. And as much as I enjoy laughing at the super fucking jank people, it takes away from the experience once you start treating it like a game. And I do wish they would fix that, like just update the graphics, update the animations. Like things need some work. But I don't know. What I will say is when me and Roger first started playing it, it still managed to scare the shit out of us. That was entertaining.
Well, me more so because I decided to dive into it with my VR headset too.
Oh, that was fun to watch.
So,
you
I have fond memories
VR
of
around.
you and Dave screaming like small little girls.
You know, because I put on my my VR headset, but then I also throw on my headphones, and that shit hits a little different.
What, you don't like the small child like doing a lullaby to you as she's manifesting?
No, I don't. I don't like it when it whispers in my ear. No, sir, I don't like it.
I love what the game is going for, and I love me some Ghost Adventures. I love it in the
Ghost
ironic
Adventures.
sense, in that it's fun to fucking watch these guys be jackasses, and that's kinda how we play it.
Wait, it's not real?
Do you think it's possible that we just caught two ghosts having sex?
Coffee cafe.
Actual quote. I will say, I think I might be one of the few people here that's played this the most. They did recently
You
go
definitely
over
played it
the
more than me.
You and Quimby seem to
Probably,
be the biggest ones on it.
I have played with a few people that you were kind of playing with earlier that kind of got this game down to a science. They'd play like the hardest difficulty. They could get one clue and go, "Oh, based on this behavior, it is this ghost. Get it, gone," and they'd be right like 80% of the time.
And that,
But
I don't.
I've
think
never
there's
done that. I've never actually played with them. I've just seen that.
Yeah, and
They
I
did
don't
release
think
some
there's
new
enough.
updates that I've really enjoyed. They've added a lot of new equipment to make it even more like a Ghost Adventures / Ghost Hunters simulator, I guess is the best way to call it. They've redone some maps, which have been cool.
I will admit that I don't think there's enough of a game in there to make that fun once you start boiling it down to a game. So like that's kind of why I intentionally play like a bit of an idiot. Like, because I still want the experience. That's the part that's fun for me.
You just feel like you kind of have to seek the experience out a little bit.
Yeah. And like, I'm at a bit of an impasse here because when I play that way, like they have upped the challenge to a point where you don't quite get away with doing that anymore. You used to be able to an extent, but you don't anymore. And it tends to get me killed very often.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time I've played, I always just die repeatedly, and I'm never really sure what causes it most of the time.
So, like...
There's a few factors.
It's mostly my inexperience.
It's usually depending on the difficulty, whatever difficulty you start on depends on when a ghost can start hunting. So, like, if you're starting an easier one, you have some, like, buffer time to find what room it's in to gather clues. Okay. I think it's at challenging and higher, the moment you open your van door, they can start hunting. Funny story, I got an achievement for being killed by a demon in 4 seconds. We opened the door, I walked in, it immediately started hunting and went beeline for me. I don't know why.
Opened the door, got on the floor, and then got killed by a ghostosaur.
God damn it, Dave! All right, we should probably rank it.
All right.
So I'm gonna add one final thought. I think I think Phasmo is a game where you really have to strike a balance between knowing how the mechanics work and being a fool.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Because like you don't want to see the entirety of the man behind the curtain. You need to know enough to suspect the curtain, but not pull the cord and open it. And I think it's hard to strike that balance with that game because you either are too much of an idiot and you die really quickly, or you know too much. You're not enjoying the scare factor of it, but you're getting shit done, and you kind of lose some of the engagement.
Yeah,
at least IMO.
Well, does anyone else have anything to add to Phasmo, or shall we score?
I really don't have a lot to say about it. I was checking. I've actually put less hours into Phasmo than Among Us.
Oh.
I think I've only ever done like 2 sessions. I don't know. This one never clicked for me.
And what I will say is when we get to the rankings, even if you have played the game, if you just straight up do want to abstain, that's fine.
All right. Yeah. Well, you can have it as an option. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But
I think the first 2 games we played, we've all played aside from Tony, we've all played enough of it to count that option off the table. But like Phasmo, definitely, I know we've got some variability here, and I think that's fair enough to say you can abstain if you want.
Okay.
So,
well, with that
anybody
said,
has anything else to say?
I was
Say
trying
it.
and then
Not,
immediately got interrupted. I was in the middle of my.
sorry.
No, you're not.
It wasn't much.
I
It was
am.
just like I said. It never clicked with me. I tried to get the concept seems cool. I like it. The ghost hunting aspect and everything. But every time I played it, I don't know. Controls still feel weird to me, and I don't know. I just can't get into this one. I feel like everyone kind of has that one that just doesn't click with them, and this one seems to be that for me.
yeah.
One. I got how many on
I
this
think
list?
I'd say
At least one.
Yeah,
I think I'd say
I got some. I could say that too about 2, but
That's why, like, I'm not going to abstain because I still have an opinion on the game. I just
Right.
feel I don't
I think
think it's a bad game. Like, I still could give this one a good. I just don't really. I just can't get into it.
we could give that game a run in a more controlled setting and not on a Saturday night when we're all trashed and acting like morons. But
I think that doesn't help me. Yeah.
What's this Wii shit?
anyway,
Most of the game, I put 2 hours in the game. I think, like, at least 1.5 hours of that was wandering around dead.
So with that in mind, how would you rank it?
I give it a 3.
wow, that's
A
pretty
3.
high
That's-
coming from your comments about it. But
Andy's a gentle lover.
Like I said, I just said, like, I don't think it's a bad game.
yeah,
Pay attention,
I
Nick.
was expecting like maybe a 2 or 2.5.
Context
but,
clues, Roger.
Okay.
So Nick, what would you say?
I was gonna say like, yeah, I'll also give it a 3. Like I said, it doesn't quite click with me either, but like I do see what it is, what's there, and I do appreciate it. So, I think 3 is where I stand.
Bozeman, I believe, is an abstain.
Yep. Never played it.
Abstain. Roger.
4.
A 4. Tony.
I am also going to 4. I enjoy the new equipment. I enjoy just the game itself. They're usually pretty quick. I will say some of the knocks, like, yeah, I mean, if you don't really know the controls or how the devices work, it can be like, well, what am I doing in here? I'm just going to stand in the van doing BS.
It is daunting. I will say
Jerking
that.
my gherkin.
Yep. And also, it's just a fun one with, October coming up. Spooky.
I'm gonna go
Or
a
if you just
bit
want to act like Zach
lower.
Bagans.
Bit lower than you boys, because I'm a little bit too dumb on the spectrum, and I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
I think if I could play it in VR, it probably would have a higher score.
Yeah, it almost seems like it was tailor-made for it.
Right.
All right.
Let's kick us off with the next game.
Yep.
I think I'll kick us.
Lethal Company.
Oh shit! For some reason, I skipped Lethal Company. Yeah. Anyway,
And
yeah.
this is gonna be a big one. So let's
You're the
let's
one who
really
typed the list.
let's really try and knuckle down on one, controlling how much we're talking about it, and two, not letting everybody get a chance to speak.
Okay.
I feel like Roger's probably the best person to start us off here, though. Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
It's true. I am the best. Lethal Company. What can I say about it? As we already said, it's kind of like catapulted the term Friendslop into the ethosphere of vernaculars. And I would not
Oh my fucking god! The
trade my time with it for any other game. I've had
vocabulary.
an absolute blast with it, and then we added mods with it, and then it just became more fun.
Mods kept it alive.
Mods kept it alive, and they make it better. Even though I think now that the success is probably waning a lot now, just because Zeekers, the developers, more or less, he did the one update I think a couple months ago, and as far as I know, he's not planning anything new. So
Give us the funny fox back.
I mean, it's definitely dropped off
he's
like stream stuff. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
He's already said that the fox is not coming back.
Oh, that's lame.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious, but if you were playing it solo, that was basically a run ender.
I'm gonna agree with both of those points. Wait, someone remind me what those points were.
I'm not repeating myself.
Fuck you and shut up. Those are the points.
Just that it's. Boy, I'm kind of forgetting how to summarize this.
I said it's funny, but it's a run ender as solo.
Words are hard, bro.
That it kind of created the template, so to speak, for a bunch of the other games.
It was mods kept it alive, but it's waning. Those are the points.
Oh, I
Yes.
would agree with that sentiment as well. Like, I feel like we would not have been playing this game for as long as we had, not for the mod support kind of giving it
mods
a lot of life.
Saved that game, in my opinion. Like, I just don't think there's enough of it there. And there's 2 points that I really want to hammer home here. One very similar to Phasmophobia, and I feel like Quimby is that guy who, like, gets really into the game aspect of it, because he goes
on the wiki and just dissects the games.
Quimby, if you watch this, I'm sorry, but I have to say
He's never sorry.
I sometimes am, because I counter to popular opinion. I don't always like to piss off my friends. Keyword always. But yeah, when people take that game a little bit too seriously, it really kills my fun. And that is a game where I want to be a jackass. I try to strike a balancing point to getting shit done, but also making the funny happen. But I
would agree with that.
Yeah. Quimby tends to treat everything that is nonsense as, well, nonsense. Like, I've definitely heard him get frustrated with us a lot, and
yeah,
I think once you have those people who treat it way too seriously, it stops being fun. But
also, the fun from pissing off the serious people, though.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that.
Springboarding.
To be fair, there are times where you make it really easy to be annoyed at you when playing.
What was it when I was chasing? Well, I mean,
let's not get into anecdotes. We'll be here all fucking day.
Right.
Chasing Andy with the hairdryer.
Springboarding off of what Dave was talking about with like taking the game seriously. I will say, like, there is some distinction to be made where like when the game is like making a point of not presenting information, like it kind of demands that you seek out that information and learn more and bring that with you through games. So I can see how you can in this game in particular, you can kind of end up on that path to being like somebody who takes it more seriously as a game. Because like
I think when it
there
comes to
can only
enemy
be so many
behavior-
times. There can only be so many times that you try and take like an unfamiliar exit on a planet where there's literally no visibility whatsoever, and you have no idea how to get back until you go looking like, okay, what direction should I be turning, and then going to get back to the ship. Because it literally, like, you know, it just ends the game every time you do it wrong, right?
I think when it comes to enemy behavior, like that's a fine thing to know how that works. Because like even when you know how to do it right, you can still mess up.
Mm-hmm.
So like
speaking of
that's
enemies,
fine.
Speaking of enemies too, and I'm just bringing this up now because it'll be relevant on at least a couple of the other games on the list here. I think when it comes to, I know I kind of at the beginning we didn't really want to call Friendslop a subgenre, but I think we can say Friendslop as a trend has its own subgenres, if you know what I mean. Like Lethal Company being what it is, the first wave of trend chasers were just trying to do lethal again, right? And in that family, I think lethal is still one of the better ones in that, like, if you got a game like this where there are like threats that are meant to make the group panic and create that, you know, fun situation where terrible things are happening to your friends and you're laughing about it. I think
The fun
lethal
chaos.
Yes, I think lethal is better than a lot of those because it doesn't allow you to too easily fight back against that stuff. I think there's
I'm going to actually springboard off of that point and slightly counter it.
okay.
I a little bit wish there was more opportunity to fight back against enemies, but I know that you have to strike a balance between what you and the enemies can do to each other. And I don't think Lethal Company quite has that balance.
It's got some that you can fight against, and a lot of it comes down to we in particular choose to play the game. Like, how often do we actually buy any of the items that are useful against like low-level enemies, for instance? We usually just grab a signpost and hope for the best.
Very select handful of items that are like useful against actually fighting back, and their efficacy is questionable most of the time.
Yeah, but I that's what I'm saying is that I prefer to be on the back in this particular type of game.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too swung towards the enemy's favor, because even when you have those, you still feel almost entirely helpless. Like that aspect a little bit rubs me the wrong way. And another thing that kind of bugs me is there's no real progression in that game.
Right.
Like with
hence
mods.
Why the mods kind of is what kept any longevity.
There's no meta progression, and the mods have added meta progression in the sense that the mod we use is the fucking too many emotes, and we use our meta progression as how many emotes do we have. And
that's our incentive.
Can I interject and say I got totally screwed over and I lost all my emotes at some point, and I still don't know why that happened. So, like, stuff like that is why Lethal Company kind of has a sour taste in my mouth, because especially early on, I don't know if you guys remember, but like I had so many
do.
issues with Lethal Company. I don't know why. Like, it was
Yep.
just my machine just didn't like that game. I constantly had
mic issues,
mic issues. I constantly had like frame rate issues. It wasn't even like, lag. It was just like the game would freeze for sometimes 10, 15 seconds at a time. And then, like, you guys would yell at me and said, "Oh, I told you to stay away from such and such." I'm like, I couldn't. My game was frozen. And, like, you guys are constantly saying how I was, like, running in place. And I was like, I have no choice because my game keeps freezing. Like, they finally updated it and I stopped having that issue. But still, it really, really left a sour taste in my mouth. And, also, Lethal Company never really recovered it in my mind because of that.
Also, what I will say, like, in terms of meta progression and kind of progression as a whole, is every run you do is fresh, basically. Like, we have all of our fucking dumb emotes from the mods that keep us entertained, but, like, if you get, like, I don't know, 5 full cycles, like 3-day cycles, whatever you want to call them, like, you get them 5 cycles in, and then you die, and then you're back to square one with no money, none of your items, none of that shit, and you have to start back at the very base level of difficulty and all of that. I think that kind of sucks, because most of the entertaining shit doesn't actually start happening until you are like 3 cycles in and the difficulty starts ramping up. So, like, there's no real way for you to just say, okay, I want to start with enough money to buy flashlights and a handful of items and then go in at a harder difficulty where more enemies are actually there harassing us. Because the enemies harassing you is where the funny happens. And there's no way to do that. So, like, once your run ends, you're back to spending several cycles just really bored because it's too easy and there's nothing happening. Like, I wish there was some sort of progression or way to, start harder.
That's why we have Rogers the captain, because he's always ready to throw us straight into the hardest planets as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we still have to work towards that. That's the point.
Well, usually, we become proficient enough, though, where we're able to crank through one, 3-day cycle, and then we're already on the tier 3 planets, so...
Yeah.
But it's still a full 3-day cycle where we're bored as shit. Or at least I am.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
I don't care if it is. It's going to affect my ranking.
Are we ready to move on to said ranking, or thoughts to add?
Everyone pretty much covered everything I wanted to say. Okay. All I will say is just, I like it when things go bad. I will never do it on purpose, very rarely at least. Like the time I just ran face first into a fucking...
Hey, it's me, Goku.
No, the fucking Freebird. Just because I was so determined to make that happen. But
I feel like we just throw ourselves at Freebird.
It's just like, that's the thing that, like, the worse things get, the more fun it is.
Yeah, that could be said about a lot of these, but yeah, we can move on to...
Yeah, that's always my defining thing for this kind of stuff, is just like, things go bad, funny.
How fun is it?
Yeah.
All right, so ranking, then I guess that would be Andy starting us off.
Would you mind if I said one little thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Go ahead.
So I've never actually played this before mods. I've only played the modded version with you guys. There's a lot of, at least for me, it's a lot of, like, I don't know what I'm quite doing, and I feel like I'm not contributing to anything.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I
like half the time, too.
Honestly like that better.
That's why a lot of times I'll just sit back in the ship and just be that guy, because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to go out, I'm probably going to die anyway and be a liability. So
I still don't know how to actually operate any of the ship stuff.
Yeah, like the message sending when we have it.
I leave that to Quimby and Roger.
I mean, most of the time it's like,
I'll go into a location, it's like, alright, I can't see anything, I can't find anything, it's been 10 minutes and everyone else has brought like already 2 to 3 objects back to the shit. It's like, well, great.
Yeah, now
it's
there's
like,
not
oh,
much
maybe
left for us
I'll go
to
this
do.
way, and then I fall down a cliff or die.
Yeah.
It's not usually by enemies half the time. Most of the time it's me jumping like, oh, I can jump over this thing to get to the next area. Nope, that's a hole, but you can't tell because everything is pitch black. And then I just sit there for the next 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes, dead.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about too earlier with like this game kind of asks that you seek out knowledge just by how frustrating it can be when you don't have that knowledge.
Also,
Or it can get frustrating when someone's causing chaos and then like a dog comes and attacks me instead of him.
one last point I want to touch on.
Now that happens, to be fair, for me in like any game. Someone else aggro's a monster, and then they somehow come after me. Happens in Showdown all the fucking time. I don't know. Maybe it's just me on that aspect.
One last point I want to touch on is, God, I wish there were more indoor maps, because really it feels like the mansion is the only one that I like anymore. Like, I fucking despise the mines and like the basic bitch. The basic bitch, like
the one with the catwalks and stuff.
Utility tunnels.
Yeah,
facility. Yeah.
I don't know.
That one is
like
so
funny shit's
fucking...
happened in the mines to me.
That one, the mines have had some funny shit happen, but the utility tunnels, so fucking boring.
And yeah, that's the one you go to like 9 times out of 10.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can move on
Right,
to scoring
Andy?
then.
Oh
Yeah.
Andy,
Ranking?
I have a hard time ranking this one, but I feel like 4 is too much, but 3's... I'd give it at this point, 3.5.
3.5. Nick?
Alright, I'm going to give it a 2. I mean, that might be a bit controversial, but... And yeah, admittedly, part of it is because of the technical issues that I had with it early on. But yeah, another part is, I do agree, I'm in the same boat as Tony. Is like, it never feels like I really contribute much, and I feel like more of a liability half the time. So, it's just... And then, yeah, when you die, you're waiting around for who knows how long before you can play again.
Oh, Christ, I don't know if we even touched on that, but yeah, once you're dead, you do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, at least
that's why, like, getting into
Us,
spectating the monsters.
Yeah. In Among Us, can't you at least be a ghost or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah, but
still
you
do
don't
tasks.
do anything.
You still have to do your task in Among Us.
Yeah, but yeah, in Lethal Company, yeah, there's literally nothing to do except for talk to other dead people. But yeah, 2 is my score.
As far as I know,
I'm
isn't
sticking to it.
spectating the monsters a mod?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so
I'm just saying that's why, like, adding that because
that's why I feel that's an important point to bring up, because that is certainly impacting my score.
I was creeping on Goku a lot last night.
Bozeman, you're up next.
For posterity, I'll rank it without mods, but my actual score is with mods. So I'd give this like a 2.5 to a 3 without mods, but 3.5 is my actual score.
That's your final answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Roger.
4.5.
4.5. God damn, Tony.
1.
Wow, we're just all over the place with this one.
I mean, me, like I mentioned, for a long time, I feel like nothing's really happening. I'm not usually there with the comedy of errors, or then it's usually the monster kills me.
You're usually the subject. You're usually the subject of a comedy of errors, and not even your errors.
I'm the subject, but I'm not participating.
I think my score would be
the emotes. I don't give a shit about emotes and the dancing.
Oh, that's fair. I feel like months ago mine would have been closer to what Roger had, 4.5, but now it's just like I feel like for this one, it's starting to wear thin a bit for me.
I'm kind of down with Nick's score. I'm ranking this without mods because I'm not gonna get on a tangent about how I feel about mods, but I, at the end of the day, don't feel like mods should impact how you feel about a game. And how I feel about Lethal Company at this point is a 2.5.
Wow, this has probably got to be the most diverse score probably that we'll have tonight.
I'm not surprised that it's Lethal Company that did that.
Well, content warning is up next.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good bridge.
We'll have another one that will be pretty widespread.
Next on our list would be content warning, which to me, like, this is one of the first lethal likes that I remember seeing. And I was like, oh, so Lethal Company is popular enough where it's spawning clones. But at least
it definitely felt like the first one riding the coattails.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the last, but yeah, it was the first one that I heard of and the first one that I played.
Riding the coattails, but I mean, given the fairly harsh score I gave Lethal Company, I think content warning did things a bit better. It still has some of the same pitfalls, like, again, first 3 days often aren't that interesting. Like, you encounter a lot of the puffer boy and the snail guy, and rarely anything that much more dangerous or entertaining. And I kind of wish there was a way to just, like, jumpstart you further along where the actual,
if you could just
dangerous stuff,
or if you can have access to the sponsors earlier on too, because that's when things get. That's when it feels like you have more of an actual goal to work towards.
Right.
Well, this one is definitely one where you really have to make your own entertainment.
And
that's exactly what I was going to talk about next. Is I feel like the game does not do enough to grease those social wheels, so to speak. Like, it's not creating enough context for the fun interactions between friends to occur. And yeah, as a result, like, you and your friends have to put a lot more work into it, which sometimes works out fine. Obviously, your mileage is going to vary depending on your friends, but like, it just never feels quite as natural as it does with some of the other games that we've played.
Yeah,
like this.
But that being said,
there is a bit of a disconnect in, like, because this kind of goes towards the, like, Lethal Company and Phasmophobia pool of, gamifying things. Like, how do you work the system? And there are ways to do that, but they're a little bit less clear. Like, it's oftentimes, like, be loud, be obnoxious. The game has no metric for how obnoxious you are. So
right.
That's basically, like, be loud.
It doesn't show you. It doesn't give you direct feedback other than, like, oh, you get this many views, but why did we get that many views?
Like, mechanically, it's like, how many monsters did you see? Like,
yeah, like there's rules.
How many weird items did you capture? Like, there are rules.
The game never gives you a firm breakdown, though.
Well, they kind of hint at things.
I'll give it an advantage in that those rules don't completely ruin everything, because even knowing the rules, you still have more fun actually creating your bullshit content.
Yeah, I feel like this one was even more fun when we first went into it and just didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. And then just watching the videos and just...
I feel like this one has caused like some of the more of the laughing fits of any.
Well, that's what I was gonna get at. Like it's the game itself has basically nothing to do with the I couldn't see my ass thing, but oh my god, I don't know if I ever laughed harder in my entire life over that. Like that might have been the hardest I've ever laughed, and it had nothing to do with the game itself. It was just our random shenanigans. So that's why I'm like, that is the quintessential perfect example of Friendslop, the appeal of Friendslop in general.
And just being able to record stuff and just being able to actually save your videos is such a big thing.
Yeah.
It's both a blessing and a boon, because, like, mechanically,
that's the same thing.
That shit we did nothing.
They are.
Oh. blessing and a curse.
Yeah, that's what you wanted to say.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I got it.
No, like I think like it's kind of a telltale for me that like the best thing I feel like I can say about content warning is that they integrated something that I think should just kind of be a standard with a lot of these games, which is that recording and playback of those moments with your friends. Like I would love to just have that in any given game on this list.
I do wish you could have like slightly longer camera recordings, but like ultimately the fact that that is there is still the biggest thing, because even without having like OBS or Steam recording running in the background, like you still get to capture some of those dumb fucking Friendslop moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
And while I feel that sometimes what you and your friends organically think is funny and is good content is not mechanically good content, but oftentimes it at least naturally plays out that way because, like I said, one of the things is, you get loud when things happen, like monster on screen. That's
loud.
Points. Get loud. That's points. Stupid object that you found and you act an idiot about it. That's points.
Would you say act the fool?
Act a fool! It's like, sometimes they don't necessarily intertwine, and that can be a little bit frustrating when we, get back to home base, sit on the couch, and we're fucking dying at the stupid shit we just recorded. But we get, I don't know, like
there's
tenth
nothing.
of the views.
Yeah, there's nothing out of the fake audience.
Yeah.
But like, I think, yeah, just the fact that it gives you that personal level of engagement of whether you're scoring or not, you are still recording these moments and you get to keep them in a tangible form. And I think that's integral.
Yeah,
to Friendslop. It's huge.
It's also got like progression. There's cosmetics to get. There's also like the stuff you can buy around like the home area it's permanent for whoever buys it, which I didn't realize for a while. But yeah, like there's things to buy, and
it does have meta progression.
I just wish they weren't so stingy with that shit.
Well, the meta progression does not necessarily apply to like actually going out on runs, because it's all stuff that's at home base.
Well, you can still film it and you get views from that stuff too.
Yeah. But like, I mean, I think Nick's the one who bought the green screen.
I also bought it.
Yeah,
I bought it. Either way, like, I didn't buy the green screen, but despite the fact that every time I'm the host, every time we play this game, and we still have the green screen.
I think it's as long as one of us who bought it is playing it, though. Yeah.
Exactly. That's cool. I
want to get the pool.
Huge fucking...
And the trampoline.
That's huge fucking points for me. Like,
there's something that always bothered me. I was just thinking about this one, that I don't like the you lost part of this one. Like, because there's interesting things like with Lethal Company, you get shot out of the ship, or like now I can't think of like another example, but just this one being like you never became successful, just a black screen with text, and you just start your run over.
Yeah. I don't know. The game called me mid kind of stings a little.
True. I just wish there was a bit more to it visually, maybe.
I actually do like visually. Maybe I actually do kind of that screen of just like, nope, you're just another fucking pebble on the side of the road of this
like
stupid
this channel.
Yeah. Speaking of being another pebble on the road, something else about this one is just its status as a flash in the pan development late. Like, there literally has not been an update to this game.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too.
Past a month of it coming out, has there?
Yeah, most
Last thing I saw is in 2024 in December. Yeah.
Yeah. So like half a year of
So this game,
post-release
this game
development.
really was like blink and you
Which-
miss it. Even though surprisingly we still play it pretty regularly, but a lot of the times it's like there's not a lot of people left, and a lot of us are already drunk. So, which is probably how
another problem is that we can't play with more than 4 people because mods seems to really fuck this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got it.
I've never
working.
tried playing it with mods, so I don't.
We
really
tried
know.
it one time.
We did get it working once, but I know we had some issues. Like we struggled
the
to
video.
get. Yeah, we struggled to get our video back. I know we lost at least 2 full tapes.
I still blame Grover. I don't know if it was his fault. I just blame Grover.
Actually, I remember at least one of the
Safe
times I
bet.
played with Grover. Like, it got fucked up. We put the DVD or we put the camera in, and it just never spit the disc out.
Tape out.
And then we had no choice but to. I think we could still continue on, but we just lost that video, even though we technically, and we couldn't even recover the camera because we technically brought it back to base. But that could have just been a weird lag issue.
I do wish there was like firmer rules behind how you recover tapes that you couldn't get before. Like, when you fail a run and the camera's left down there,
It should give you the option to at least retrieve it, even if it doesn't get you views. Just so you can at least see it.
What bothers me is that it's not always actually in the place that you died.
Oh yeah, that's a huge problem for me too. Because it's like sometimes it's nowhere near where you died.
I wish it was a bit stricter about keeping the camera where it was last seen.
Yeah, because sometimes it really does feel like it's pure luck if you manage to find a
so
camera
hard.
again.
It's always so hard to find it. Yeah, it really does seem like
And
complete luck.
And I've only had breakfast today, and I'm 1 drink in, so I don't remember if I actually brought up this point or not, but I am going to bring up the same point that I had with Lethal Company, in that one thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is there's no way to start harder.
You did bring that up already.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
Okay.
I was saying, like, I wish you had...
Well, that's why...
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
You said breakfast only, 1 drink in, working on my second.
Because that's what I meant, though, when I said that you kind of have to make your own fun. That's why, like, I don't mind the starting, because, like, we're still just goofing around, and I still think interesting things can happen in, like, first 3 days.
It's less bad because we're us, and we know us, and we like us.
Well,
we think we are funny.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. The whole appeal of Friendslop in the first place.
It's always just like
it's
always the same, like really boring to interact with enemy in that initial period.
Yeah.
Like how entertaining is getting molested by a snail man? Like
I'm still.
I mean, we
30th fucking time.
We kind of go over this every time we play, because every time the snail man shows up, it's like, oh, it's the snail man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
And then some other big fucker comes in while. And then we're like, oh no!
Then the flaming shell guy shows up.
Yeah, right.
Or the walking turret.
All right, we should probably
let's
put a cap on this one and move along. So starting out rankings.
Well, did Roger have anything to say about it?
Oh,
no.
I don't think Roger had. Yeah, Roger just didn't talk.
I'm
sorry.
He said a few things here and there. I mean, do you have anything significant to add to it, or?
You will find out when I give it my score, won't you?
Oh, all right. Well, let's move on.
Well, fuck
that,
you
then.
too, buddy.
All right, Andy.
Andy,
well,
what do you score?
There's no way I can give it a 5. It still has its problems, but I definitely would have to go pretty high for, I would say 4.5.
4.5. This is gonna be fun because I want to see how long it takes people to actually memorize the order. Nick, you're up next.
Yeah, I think I agree with Andy. I would give it a 4.5 because, I mean, the laughing fit that I had a few weeks ago, that alone is worth a 4.5.
Tony had to mute you.
Like, that's something I'll remember the rest of my life. So, yeah,
I still have that
4.5.
permanent ear damage from that.
And I apologize for that, but I couldn't help it. That was so. Even though it isn't really that funny, but for some reason, at the time, in the context of it all,
it's
it just
funny to us, and that is
hit
the
me
important
just the right
thing.
way.
Bozeman.
We're like, yeah.
This one's a 3 for me.
Roger.
4.
Oh. Tony.
No, I'm going to be.
Yeah, Tony's
stating,
never played it.
never played this.
He
The
doesn't
only
play
thing
it.
I can say about it is I like that you can just upload the clips, so then that way I don't have to actually watch you guys go through this.
You get
mess.
to
I can just
enjoy
hit
it
highlights.
vicariously.
No, I don't enjoy it vicariously. I want just the small little 25-second clips because that's the actual fun parts. I don't want to watch you for.
Oh my
2
god,
hours.
he's one of the fans that posts in those little comments in our videos.
You better fucking believe it.
I wonder if Airplane Randy is a good friend.
Nope.
Man, no, I'll do 4.5.
All right.
Wow.
I definitely expected that one to at least
the
get one lower score besides
hardest-
me.
Well, it wasn't gonna be me.
It's that camera, man. Like, it just, there's something about it that elevates it.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, kind of like you said, with just the fact that it gives you those savable replays.
Right, but like to me,
that
that's a knock.
encapsulates-
That's a knock against it for me. Is that the fact that's like okay,
Really?
the best thing to say about it is a feature that you could pluck and put into any other better game.
But nobody does.
No,
But nobody does.
I think
No,
that's
but
just
that's-
more about the other developers than.
yeah, like anyways, we
I
can
get
move
that.
on.
Where is he? Nick, what are you fucking doing? Nick, I'm gonna kill myself.
I accidentally jumped off the cliff and died. I had to come back. It looks like David did the same thing.
I'm
Andy did
standing
the
right
same
in
thing.
front of you, you fucking dick.
Yeah, I see it now. I couldn't see your face before, and I couldn't remember which
You
one of you
couldn't
had
see
the
my
chef
ass. You couldn't
I
see
couldn't
my
see-
ass.
hat. I didn't remember who
Couldn't
had
see
the
my
chef's
You
hat.
couldn't see my. That sounds like a song.
You couldn't
Couldn't
see
see
my
my
ass.
See my ass.
couldn't
You
see
couldn't
my
see my ass. You couldn't see my ass. I'm gonna leave because you couldn't see my ass.
Why is this so German?
I don't know.
It's like no,
I
it's
said
like
a Shiza. Okay.
it reminds me of Too Sexy. That's why. It's like probably from the same band that did I'm Too Sexy. You couldn't
Oh my
see
god, we didn't need to fight any monsters. We're fucking good. David, we've lost Nick. Nick's gone bye-bye. Oh my god! Holy shit, he is losing his mind!
Oh
I've
no!
reached the bottom! Oh, that's the bottom guy! That's the bottom guy! That's the bottom guy! Let's get out of here! Oh my god! Oh my god! My throat!
Christ, Nick.
My throat!
All right, where the fuck is Andy? Oh my god, motherfucker.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's dead to the world.
Okay. Yeah, we
So,
can move on then.
moving on.
This should be a quick one,
Yeah.
anyways.
So, Liar's Bar. Yeah, pretty.
I
Not a
have
whole
some
lot of
things to
content
say,
there.
but I'm gonna wait until others say their piece.
Well, yeah, there's not a whole lot of content here. Like,
No,
this is really just you got a few minutes to kill. Like, let's
It's
boot this
probably
up
the
while we.
quickest play.
Yeah, that's why normally we play it
That's-
pretty early on while we're waiting for other people to show up. Like
that's one of the things I like about it is that it is absolutely the quickest play out of really anything on this list.
I'm kind of surprised
well,
it doesn't seem to meet the qualities of, or the definition of like any of the other ones.
So like
yeah,
for
I kind of
me,
thought it
it's
was weird
like
being on the list too.
here's the thing. So like ultimately, it's just like tabletop card and dice games, right? So those are mechanically simple, which I feel like that means that the appeal for this game is the fact that it's giving you an environment to enjoy those simple mechanics with your friends.
yeah, it's like literally like poker night in person, like
right.
So here's where I'm gonna say, I don't think it belongs on this list.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue against that, but I still want to talk about it.
I let it be when we were bringing this whole round table up, because I feel like it's important for the discussion. But that is my piece, is I don't feel like it quite belongs on this list, because
I questioned it being on the list originally too. But I mean, I can see how it fits as far as like if you're going to say it's definitely a game that you're going to want to play with friends. Like this is not something that's going to be fun with randos.
No, you don't jump into a fucking like there are random laws.
Yeah.
You know why on fucking earth you would ever do that?
I mean, if you're
instead of finding like a better like online poker game or something.
That's what I was gonna say. There's already online.
That's honestly a big thing, because while a lot of Friendslop depends on the people you play with, like I'm not gonna do it because personally I can't stand the very fucking thought of it. But playing with randos is a very real and valid option, and it's something that I would never fucking bother with.
Right.
Playing Liar's Bar. I don't care. And I don't know, maybe that kind of points into its favor as being a Friendslop, but at the same time, I don't think the content it produces is that interesting. Like, as much as I love you guys, and I love our stupid shenanigans, I don't think the content that this particular game produces is that enjoyable regardless of who you're playing with. Like, you have to take it from the perspective of a viewer. And personally, I don't care to watch anybody play Liar's Bar. And I don't think anybody would care to watch us play Liar's Bar.
Well, certainly I would agree with you on that last point. I will say it did have its moment. It popped off for like a month and a half. I think that alone is evidence enough to point it towards being, you know, at least, as I said from the beginning, an edge case in Friendslop.
Well, also you did say that these are also like content farm games. I know when this game first came out, there was a lot of people that
content.
Well, when this game first came out, it was pretty popular, and
it was used. They planted seeds, and then
I don't care who's doing it. I don't see the content. That's my argument.
But yeah, it was over before you do it, though.
Something else too that is like I didn't include it in the definition. I don't think it needs to be, but it is an element that is pervasive enough among them. This game is made. Well, we did kind of bring up the cheapness of it. This fucking game, like, besides like Who's Your Daddy, this is the cheapest feeling fucking game on the list.
Oh my god, they've made so much money on it, and they're still using the AI voices. And
the AI voices,
why wouldn't they?
They're super shitty tween graphic loading screen animation.
And the fact that it has weird technical issues too.
Stupidly compressed like files and resource, like the amount of fucking artifacts just on like background elements in this game it's insane. And it's
literally
still, like,
the only
loads
thing I
and runs like shit.
I have to fucking load it 1,000 times before it finally fucking works.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about the AI voices is not a legitimate credit to their favor. It's just the fact the fucking warthog sounds like Unicron. And that's because that is funny to me personally. That is not actually good. That's just funny to me personally because of how fucking stupid it is. Like, you've made so much money on this. You can't be arsed to fucking find, what, 6 people at this point?
Probably one
To do some
person to
actual
do it.
voices?
Hell, let us do
One
it.
person doing the guy and the women's voice.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Give me $50. I'll voice all characters.
Oh my god,
All-
I would
do all
totally
the-
back that.
I mean,
Dude, I wanna voice the
the
panda.
way this game is put together, I don't think it would be very hard to fucking pop in
No.
our own voice packs.
I just want it just Roger, and it just is every line is, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Or
Don't worry
is
about
it
it.
really?
Every time he puts the gun to his head.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
All right, this is probably an easy one to wrap
Yeah.
up quick, unless anybody else had any
Yeah.
other
No,
thoughts about it.
let's score it and move on.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Andy.
See, this one, I don't know. I this one's very middle of the road. I'd probably go 3. Yeah, 3.
Nick.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's not Friendslop in the traditional sense, but it has its place though on our Saturday nights. Like,
Like you said, it's the quick games.
it's the quick thing
are
that
what
we do
kinda set
to
it apart.
kill time. At least it has its niche. I mean, the other games don't really have their own niche. They kind of can be interchangeable with each other, but this one has its specific niche. So I give it credit for that. But that being said, all the issues and stuff, I would probably say 2.5.
Yeah,
Those been new.
I
Those been new.
I definitely
Use
talked
that.
myself down on this one a little bit. I was going to place it a bit higher just because, like, I think the fact that they recognized that, like, yeah, this is something that is really easy to do. Just create a digital avatar space with at least kind of entertaining looking characters that we get to puppet around. You and your friends get to puppet around while playing something that's hard to get wrong, which is dice and card games.
I've fucked for diamonds.
Not, yeah. That was enough for me to go, like, yeah, somebody should have done this long before you guys. The fact that you got it right is worth points in my book. I'll still give them a 3.5. I talked myself down. I was almost going to give them a 4. I talked myself down on it.
Shit, did this
Okay.
come? Okay,
gonna go
aside,
lower.
did this come out before or after Buckshot Roulette?
Buckshot
After.
Roulette was,
Because I want to say
Yeah,
Buckshot
before,
was first.
but not the multiplayer mode.
Right, multiplayer came after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I remember getting both of them at pretty much the same time. Like, I remember
'Cause-
playing both of them pretty much one after another, so I don't remember.
I mean, this game was kind of why I'm, like, I brought up the same point, and it's why I'm glad Buckshot's not actually on this list, because
Yeah, Buckshot Roulette's probably
I didn't-
probably a layer
yeah,
below Liar's Bar,
it's
so
it's in the same exact vein, but I
I
would have
think
brought up the same point.
I think the reason I didn't bring it up is because, like, I think another important thing for me about these games is that they had to have been created with the intent of this sort of social interaction driven game, which Buckshot Roulette was not. They added
Yeah.
that afterwards.
I don't necessarily feel like that's true. I feel like that is a timing issue.
I mean, it was like a
More than
full
anything?
year. It was like a full year on.
No, it was not. It was a couple.
Between Buckshot Roulette originally releasing and player.
It was only a few months.
Yeah, it was only a few.
Positive?
Yeah.
Yep. Because I'm pretty sure they immediately said that they wanted to have online multiplayer, and then they knocked that out pretty damn quick.
all right. Well, what's your
Say, right, Roger? Roger, what would you say?
3.
April to October. So
3.
definitely shorter than I thought, but a little longer than you guys were indicating. 6 months.
Tony, I presume, is going to be a not applicable, but I also
Yep.
do want to add at this point, I feel like even if you haven't played enough of it, I feel like you should still have the opportunity to rate if you want to.
Okay. I'm still gonna abstain because I don't even want
That's
to
fair.
play it. I
Like,
have no desire to get it.
That is
play
entirely
it, or
fair,
watch you guys
but
play it.
and if it changes your rankings on any of the previous games, so be it. We'll address that when we get to it. But I do still kind of feel like it should be important to note that you can rate it even if you have not actually played it.
That's fair. I just don't want to be the Debbie Downer for a lot of these because otherwise, there's like the average is gonna go
We're getting
way down.
dragged down. Yeah.
That is fine. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I got to go last on this one because I am also going to actually abstain from ranking it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you made it clear
For the
that you
reasons
don't.
I'm,
You made it clear that you
yeah.
don't want
Yep.
it on here, so I'm not going to argue
That-
against that.
And if anybody is welcome to change their rankings on any games at any points, we just have to make that known when we get to the finale. But yeah, I don't think this game necessarily belongs on this list, so I'm gonna abstain from ranking.
Okay. Well, let's move on then. So,
Dale and Dawson.
5.
Same.
I know Roger's not gonna change that, so I'm just gonna mark him.
Yeah,
all
just
right,
put me
I'm-
down for
yeah,
5.
You can do the same for me.
spoilers. I'm going to rank it very
okay.
high. I'm going to rank it very highly too. But
So here's
Let's talk
the
about it
thing
a
for
bit.
me with this game. This is just a better version of Among Us. Like it literally does all the same things that Among Us does.
It's
It
funnier.
doesn't have downtime problems.
Like I thought.
yeah, even when you
'cause
do
you-
get fired, you can still do.
Yeah,
Well-
you can be a janitor. You can make
Which
your
means
own
I'm gonna be
fun.
a fucking
It dep-
ghost.
Well,
Yeah,
it
if you
depends
get
on how
fired
far
again,
you get fired.
Then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it depends on how far you get fired and what the game settings are.
Yeah, the activities for
Because
the most part,
we've definitely fucked that up before.
Activities.
the activities for the most part are more interesting than anything they have you to kill time for Among Us. Like I think the only problem I have with this game, and it's not a unique problem to it, there's several other games on this list that have it. I just think it's an awful shame that this game in particular has it because it has so much fucking potential as a better version of Among Us. It's dead. They're not doing anything with the game anymore.
Yeah.
There's so many more things they could do with it, and the developer just seems to have packed up and moved on.
I mean,
We
Among
just
Us is
deeply
very much
understand.
Among Us is kind of very much the same thing because they've already moved on to 3D, but also 3D still isn't good. So I don't know. Take that for what you will.
Well, Among Us is also a lot older. That
I want to
Yeah,
right.
that makes more sense that one's dead.
Yeah, Dylan Dawson is like, what, not even a year old? Maybe a year old at the most? So,
I think that's about right.
I am going to a little bit argue.
Yeah, actually,
against-
last month, end of August is when it came out, 2024.
okay.
I'm gonna a little bit argue against the point of when you're dead, because there is some chaos you can cause as a janitor, but that's kind of the thing, is that as a janitor, your only input is chaos.
Yeah, so
Like,
Well,
it's
not
it's basically
Not
do
necessarily.
You want to,
you still get to be a part of the social interaction, though, right?
In
the,
theory,
Yeah.
if you were a specialist, you accidentally get fired. Well, not accidentally, you get fired. You could still like spy on people that you assume are the slackers.
Or
Yeah,
just
relay
go to
that to
Josh
your-
and just
just sit in the
Yeah,
meeting
just
room and paint
drink.
your minifigs.
or just sit in the break
get
room
drunk.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, you can still, like, if you're the slacker, you can try to sabotage, or you can go and lock doors, try to sabotage stuff. But Or if you were a specialist, you could be like,
Well, that
you can
that
still
also
spy on people and whatnot. So you can still keep
the
playing.
locking
to a
doors
certain
part
extent.
also still depends on game setting.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sure.
you still at least have that option, though, if you should your group want to do that. But okay, more stuff
I guess maybe my opinion on that is gonna come from some bias, and I know Boseman's gonna have a response to that because I am a spiteful janitor. But I feel like a lot of us are.
It depends for me.
It
I've not
depends
been
for me
janitor
as well.
much, but I'm not that.
Usually, when I'm often one of the first people to get fired, especially when I'm the slacker. So I've been the janitor a lot, and for me, it's like, okay, I guess I'm done now. So now I could just do whatever the hell I want. So I'll often go on people's computers and draw stupid stuff and print them and write stupid notes and stuff. Like, yeah, which is what this Friendslop shit's all about. So, yeah, when you die, you're not just waiting around. You can still have plenty of fun, unless you get fired again and then you're a ghost.
Yeah, I do think. Oh God, the storm's fucking. Oh God, that's kicking up real hard. I do think Dale and Dawson does a better job with death than Among Us does.
Than most other games
like
on this list.
you can still definitely interact with things, but I feel like the net result is kind of the same, if not slightly worse. And like I said, maybe this is bias, but I feel like janitors are spiteful people.
I think this would go back to the me lamenting over the game being developed.
I guess it does. It does kind of go more towards the content because, yeah, if the janitors are spiteful assholes, that is funnier. I will not argue that.
Our previous fucking video on that game.
Check out our video in Dale and Dawson.
Yeah. Put the thumbnail right here.
Put the link up.
I was saying a moment ago, like, this is going back to me lamenting over the game being development dead. Like, janitors could have had more literally just pick up trash or fuck around. Like, you could be like, hey, clean up the shit on the mirrors that the slackers are putting, or but go order new fish to restock the aquarium after they've been killed. Like, things like that. They could have been an easy win to add those in, just to give janitors a little more variation.
Or hell, even like slacker janitor tasks.
There should be a little bit more insight for janitors as to who the slackers are. Like, I don't think a flat-out reveal of who the slackers are would be proper, because, I mean, that's really cheap depending on who you're playing with. But I feel like janitors should at least be privy to the tasks that people have. Like, maybe just one task that people have or something. And I think that should go towards a bit of the balance of what slackers have to do, because I think slackers should have to do legitimate tasks. That's a big problem I have, is that slackers never have legitimate tasks. And depending on who you're playing with and how they're kind of watching things, there's some dead giveaways. But, like, specialists can get slacker tasks. Why can slackers not get legitimate tasks?
Yeah, I agree there.
That's fair.
Because I do find it hard to be a slacker, and I feel like when I am a slacker, I'm constantly being watched. Hard to just do my slacker tasks.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
you pretty much have to fake. You have to fake specialist tasks when you're the slacker.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the point, though. Is you're a slacker.
You also have to definitely weight slacker tasks higher than specialist.
Otherwise,
tasks.
you could just ignore your slacker tasks and.
But one of the problems with trying to
make sure you're
doing a specialist task is that. I think one of the problems I had
was
with
2.5, Boseman.
Right. Sorry, let Tony talk.
Okay. The hard thing to do, with faking a specialist task, so when you're a slacker, is whenever you get a task, you can get the little icon that says you need to go here to do this. You don't get that if you're trying to fake it, so
Yeah.
And some of these map designs are a little like, where the fuck is anything?
At least
Yes.
they did kind of fix that
is-
because now it constantly shows you where your workstation is at least.
That
they
helps
fixed
a
I
little
do
bit.
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Because
That does
before
help
it was
it a bit.
a huge
Something
thing,
they
yes.
really need to fucking fix is it's like you'll get a computer task to print something, and then it will tell you to pick up whatever you just printed from a fucking
Oh, and it's in the
shelf.
folder. Yeah.
I hate that so much. They super need to fix that.
And not happening, sounds like.
Yeah.
Probably
if
not.
they haven't fixed it after a year, they're not going at it again. They're done. I'm sure there's mods for it.
And the last thing I'll kind of say, kind of going back to like Andy's point with like Among Us, it can be a little, maybe for me and for him, when you're a Slacker, it's like it's a little anxiety. It's like, Christ,
Yes.
I got the task of set a fire to the trash cans. Like, oh God, everyone's all around. How can I do this?
Well, and that's the thing too is that
Or destroying the server room. It's like, well, if they lock
Yes.
both the doors, you can never do that. Now you're just sitting there doing nothing. It'd be
Well,
kind
and
of
then-
nice, like if there was another way for a Slacker to get in there.
Like
Or
pick
hit
the
the
lock
message.
or something.
Hence
Well,
why we had to limit the locks.
Yeah.
my
It
thing
feel-
too is that like when you're doing these things and you're being a Slacker and there's this anxiety because like you'll do it and you think you'll get away with it and someone can. Now they're getting all in your face about it, and then you just have like there's an embarrassment to getting caught doing this shit too.
Every time I've been a Slacker, Bozeman always catches me. He's like, yeah, sorry, man, I just happened to walk by the moment that trash can caught on fire, and I know you're the only one in the room.
It also
So
can be
there's-
annoying, like when you're the specialist and you get like 2 or 3 Slacker tasks in a row. It's like, how do you fucking hide that?
So there's no possible way that the devs will ever see any of our videos. But man, if on the off chance that they ever fucking did, I think I have a suggestion. I think what Slackers need is they need 2 sets of tasks. I think they need a set of Slacker tasks to actually go and fuck shit up. And then they need a fake set of productive tasks that they
Fake
can
working.
use to feign working. Because, yeah, getting around the offices is a chore sometimes, and that ultimately leads to your knowledge of the game and each individual office. Because if you don't know where you're working, being a Slacker is really difficult. Because you don't know where all the shit is, or you might just have a hard time finding your way around in order to fake productivity.
Yeah, and we kind of already touched on that.
But, well, I mean, this is me elaborating on that point. Like, I think that's kind of what it probably could use.
Right.
Any other last thoughts?
Yeah, a quick thing. Something I do really appreciate about Dale and Dawson is how they really did make like a living, breathing office environment all within the game. Like, there's a working phone system where you can call other players, and there's
I
working
love the phones.
email, and yeah, you can draw pictures. you
I
can
always
print stuff
forget
off,
that
you
the
can
phone
copy 'em,
system
like-
actually works.
Yeah,
I
it's
always have to call someone and say something
yeah,
stupid.
it's cool. Like, even if it doesn't always come into play in the gameplay, I think it is really a pretty impressive thing that they put together.
Yeah.
Like,
I
feel
like
they
talking
went-
to Nick and asking him if so and so is a Slacker. He tells
then
me.
What?
I feel like I got a little better about that, right? I feel like
All right.
I get fired even if like you guys don't suspect me at all. I'm usually just a solid guess half the time, so I get fired anyway.
Well, and then you'll be a manager, and I'll just happen to be playing like Minesweeper, and you're just like, oh my god, he is the Slacker just because of this one fucking thing.
Hey, you weren't you?
I know, but like I was just doing it to try to like fuck around with it. I didn't actually a task to do that. It was just
because it was your-
complete luck.
You can assume.
Man, I am still lamenting my time as manager where I guessed 2 Slackers in a row and then failed on the third.
I'm no good as manager.
It can go that way.
Is that the game where I was screaming about my mouse because I was just...
No.
No, that was
Oh.
a different one. But that was
Okay.
a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that
What
transfers
about-
over to the next game.
All right, yep.
Rankings.
Ranking. Let's get this
We're
ball rolling.
skipping Andy because he already
And
did.
Roger.
Who's next?
Nick?
That'd be me. And yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go so far
I
as to
remembered.
give it a 5 too. Like,
Ah.
I mean, I know it has its issues, but I mean, given the there's just so much.
It'll be a 4 for me.
Or skipping Roger. How about Tony?
I would say 3.
3.
It's a solid number, solid game. It has some issues that are pretty glaring.
I'm gonna go 3.8.
The fuck?
Yeah, you know it, bitch.
Let me guess. Too much paper.
Can't even stick to half-digit.
He's got to
Yeah.
be.
I told you decimals were on the table, and by God, I'm gonna use them. Anyway, R.E.P.O, the less than genetic opera.
That's a deep cut.
Is
I got that
it?
reference.
It's deep enough where I don't get it.
All right. I definitely like R.E.P.O a lot. I feel like it's I can't say 100% that it's a better version of Lethal Company, but it's obviously a
I will.
Lethal-like, and
Yeah.
I like it better than Lethal Company.
Yeah,
I think-
that's what
I will-
want to say about it. I feel like it's just
I
it's
will
Lethal
because it
Company if
doesn't-
it was done better.
It doesn't rely on mods to save its ass.
And
And I'm
I
also
appreciate.
finish. I'll
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, going off you saying it doesn't need mods, I agree with that. I don't actually want to play this game with mods because mods for me are there to create more personality in a game that maybe needs a little help in that regard. This game fucking doesn't need that. This game
There's
has
only-
personality in fucking spades. And it has 6-player support, which is not entirely enough for us, but better than basically anything else on this list.
Yeah, it's enough.
There's
most of
only
the time.
one. There's only one point I'm gonna disagree with you on, and that like doesn't need mods, but for us, technically, sort of does because we sometimes have enough people willing to play that are outside of the player limit, and personally, I don't think that impacts it a whole lot. Like just having more than the 6.
Yeah,
But really, that's the only one that we play with is just the one that lets you have more than 6 people.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever played that one, but
We've done it, I think,
it
twice.
probably wasn't when
Totally.
I was around. 'Cause I don't remember ever playing that modded, but I mean, yeah, it really doesn't need it
And
that much.
I
9
I
times
know
out of
both
10,
times that
6 players is enough.
both times that we've blamed Grover because we definitely had some troubles, but like they were relegated to crashing and auditory issues, and we just blamed Grover because he was hosting.
It seems like whenever he hosts shit, we have issues. Does he just have shitty internet or what?
I have no
Like-
fucking idea, but like,
Yeah.
that's the only mod I'm gonna justify, and I'm not gonna take it into account in its scoring because,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
well, I don't think it's essential. I don't think it hurts.
It's more of like R.E.P.O feels like
Yeah.
the most considered,
Yeah.
or one of the most considered games on this. Like this is like, hey, we have observed the trend. We see where the successes and where the failures are, and it hits so many of the successes, and that's like the not having just a huge player count as an option is the only thing it doesn't quite hit. But even then, it's not even like it completely missed. They just shot higher than everybody else because of that, and didn't.
Yeah,
quite
like I
aim high
think
enough.
mods fix that problem, but they're not necessarily required. So mean, honestly, mods are neither going to help nor hurt my score for this game because that's the only thing we have ever played with is just getting more people in, and I don't think that really changes much.
Yeah.
Another nice thing too is that, I mean, in regards to mods, by the sounds of it, because another point in favor of this game is the excellent support they've had, for the half year that it's been out. They've just been continuing.
Dude, they've been very
on the game.
attentive.
Yeah. It looks like our very next update coming. It'll be possibly by the time this video comes out. It'll be in a couple of weeks, but about a month from now.
It's October 30th.
They're adding a popular mod to the actual game, which is the talk to speech is going to be enabled for the heads when you're dead,
and you can move a little bit as a head.
I just love the fact that the devs are actually paying attention and they're doing stuff.
Well,
they're regularly releasing not only just updates but like
community highlights,
videos.
Yeah, so they have a the main guy has a weekly video he does.
And I mean, not to plug more Rivals 2 shit, but like they do that shit too. Like I fucking love it when developers actually bother to pay attention to their community and talk to them and just regularly keep them in the loop like that. Like that's super cool.
To get a little off topic, that's kind of why I like Deep Rock so much, because they do that too. Like, they're completely open about their development and stuff. So, yeah, I appreciate that type of thing too.
Ad hoc, because feel free to veto this if you want. But do we want to add Deep Rock to this list?
No,
because that game is just, it's a bit too high budget.
It has too much of its own game. Like, you play that game to have fun with the game, not necessarily to have fun. Plenty of us here have done solo runs all the time, and that. So, I mean,
or even with strangers
I can think of some arguments to add it, but I'm honestly not going to go into them because I think this video is going to be long enough as it is.
We don't need more on this list.
If you were going to add Deep Rock, then you better add Helldivers too, because you're falling in that same vein.
Yeah, and then we could this video would be crazy long. It's already over 2 hours long.
And then it's just gonna be so many fucking other games that would fit into this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
point is the discussion.
But Andy, your thoughts?
I don't think I care for R.E.P.O as much as everyone else does. I just I don't think it's bad again. I think the best stuff is just the character models and the flapping heads and the way that they'll look at each other when they're talking. That shit's hilarious. I think the game's more fun to watch than to play. I find myself getting a lot more bored playing this one.
That's kind of how I feel about Lethal Company, but yeah.
I think what I am gonna add to that is, I mean, it's gonna be the same thing I had to say about Lethal Company and Content Warning, is that there's no good way to just jump into the harder shit where the more interesting and the more funny stuff happens.
Some of that is to do more with...
I do think that adding the physics element helps a lot.
That's what I was going to say. Like, that's one major leg up it has on Lethal Company.
The museum, like, holy shit, the museum is a massive fucking boon to that game that I cannot even understate. I wish more of the maps had this element, but the museum adds a lot more of the physics and the platforming puzzle elements to it.
I mean, part of that is
the castle. The castle is like proto museum to me. Like, castle's, I think, my second favorite map. Museum definitely my favorite, but castle second favorite, because it feels like castle has a lot of the elements that they toyed with when creating the museum, and museum is just a lot of the refinements of those ideas.
There's two things to that. One part of that is the fact that, like, as you're saying, you wish there was a quicker ramp up, and you start to see those like platforming and physics elements more frequently in the higher level versions of the other three maps. But another thing too is that let me finish because I have 2 points here.
Go ahead.
Another part of that too is that just with how many people we have like coming and going through sessions each night, like I've got like 5 or 6 save files that are all at like level 4, level 5 or whatever, and we just never have quite the correct combination of people playing to load back into those. So that's part of the struggle. Is like, it's not that we have to start over from fresh every time, but we often do, because like, okay, last week we had, me, Nick, Andy, Roger, and Josh, and then the next week, well, Josh isn't here, but you're here, so that's a new file to start. And then the week after that, it's somebody else is swapped out, and it's not quite the same combination.
I think that's going to go with an overall problem I have with a lot of Friendslop games, is that there's very little meta progression, and I think that's why I have a little bit of bias towards content warning. Is while the while the progression does not immediately translate to when you're out and about doing the like bulk of the content, there's at least some sort of meta progression that you can utilize. Lethal Company, R.E.P.O, they don't have that.
Yeah, does R.E.P.O even have cosmetic stuff you can unlock?
Has none.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
It could probably benefit from something of that sort.
Dude, if I could have a fucking garbage man with a pompadour, you have no idea how on board I'd be with that.
Something that's supposed to be in their October update, I think, might be cosmetic related, but I cannot remember.
Give me my creepy little android mascot with a pompadour, and I will be happy. I will give your game a 5 if you give me that.
Well, speaking of rankings, anybody else have any parting thoughts on this one?
No. I got my point across, so we can move on.
I just want to emphasize my point of, it feels like the first 2 runs you do they're really inconsequential and they're fucking boring.
I think the nice thing about one thing to tack onto the end of that, I mean, it's not like this isn't true of like Lethal Company as well, where you same complaint, but like at least for R.E.P.O, like having overperforming on those first couple runs can have pretty big rewards for you going forward in R.E.P.O. Less so in Lethal Company, just because there's not really much shit that you want to buy besides passage to harder planets.
I'm gonna add another point.
But some of that is kind of dependent on what shows up in the shop too. So I don't know. It's kind of there's a give and take on that.
Which really adds to my other point. Going back to the Lethal Company, like the balance of the give and take between you and enemies, I do really like how Lethal Company, R.E.P.O, actually gives you tools that you can use to combat enemies, but the randomization in shops kinda makes it a really moot point. Like, I think last weekend was the first time in months that we've seen a gun.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if you could like if you overperform, like if you're coming home stacks in the second mission, it would be cool if there was like you could burn some of that to like pop open an edition of the store that is like guaranteed to have like
we saw
high value, high lethality stuff.
We saw the fucking cart laser I swear to God, every time we enter the shop, the cart laser's there.
I feel like it's there most of the time. Yeah.
But last weekend was the first time in, I swear to fucking God, months that we have seen a gun.
Yep.
And that part is a little bit sticky for me, and just to hammer home the point, it still feels like the first, I think, 3-night, or, well, I guess not 3-night runs.
We get what you're trying to say. We don't need to repeat that repeatedly. Let's get to the scores.
The first two runs are super boring, and I think last weekend, because we played it, emphasizes this point. We got the museum the second night, and I was bored out of my fucking skull in the museum. That bothers me.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's move on to scoring.
We got two more games to get to yet. So let's move on to ranking.
All right, Andy.
2.5.
Okay.
I feel like I had more fun with it earlier on when it was more mysterious, but over time I've grown more bored with this one.
All right, next.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna give it a 3, simply because I do think it's a major improvement over Lethal Company, but I still, all your other points are totally valid, though.
All right, this one's a 4.5 for me. It is.
Wow.
It's up there for me. I second favorite, which will probably give away what my ranking on our next game is, but.
Roger.
5.
Tony.
Roger's so positive.
So
Roger's a fucking negative.
I'm just here to have a good time.
Tony, what's your ranking?
I can talk now? Okay. This was the first game I ever refunded. So I gave, what was it, Lethal a 1? This is a 0.5.
Oh.
Wow.
I hated playing it. I did not have fun with it. I don't get the appeal.
Not even an abstain. That's
nope.
Dave calls me negative.
He played it.
I played it once.
That's not even a
minutes.
judgment. That is just I'm
gonna take this down.
Yeah, I don't feel I have the right to do that to like Content Warning or Liars Bar or Among Us. With R.E.P.O, yeah.
Oh, let's see here. I have to look back.
I respect it.
We'll go 3.5 for me. I just think the fact that there's no way to bypass the boring parts.
Okay, yeah, we don't need to get into that.
It hurts.
So
we don't need to get into it, but that's my metric.
But
so
moving on, next on our list is probably a really big one for me, especially, is Peak. It's still currently pretty popular. So, anyone have any opening arguments about it?
So
it's Peak.
It's the name. It's in the name.
Let me. Okay, I wanna start because I feel like Peak actually addresses my concerns with the previous games, because you can just outright fucking select the difficulty.
Yeah. Well, you have to unlock them first, though. But
true.
I mean, but when you're first starting, you're probably going to want to start on lower difficulties anyway. So.
Well, like once you've proven yourself, then you unlock the next difficulty. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, there's built-in progression.
We're just gonna fucking go.
And also,
I like that. I like that a fucking lot.
And
on
also,
that note, though, it's I mean, we haven't gotten too many cleared runs yet to see.
I mean, I've only had one. I haven't played it as much as
you guys. Did you guys manage last night?
No, we didn't.
Go look
well, you saw the video. You saw the video evidence. We could splice that in. That would be a good spot. To be honest.
Yeah,
I was fucking sick and dying, so I didn't.
Yeah, go watch it. You'll see how
I know you played it, but I was in and out of consciousness for the last
So,
like 13 hours.
Like I was saying, we haven't unlocked too many steps to the difficulty yet, so I don't know how much this ends up. I'm sure it gets changed a bit.
I already
But
looked
like
up
to your
what
point,
changes, but yeah.
like Ascent 1, all that does is increase fall damage. So it's not
Yeah.
like it's making the climb more difficult or different.
But it's something.
It's still the same climb.
Yeah.
But as I said,
something to make things more interesting.
That's being said, like we could see something can change pretty dramatically on the later levels that we just haven't unlocked yet. So put an asterisk on that. No, this game, a point in this one is that it is tackling this genre while not very obviously jumping off of what something else established, like R.E.P.O, where R.E.P.O is basically just Lethal Company plus. There's nothing else like Peak, but it still very much feels like a lot of these other games, with gameplay mechanics are simple and creating social interaction between players, but like they're simple, but they're extremely rewarding. Like other games on the list, the gameplay is simple and you are entertained by like the weird interactions that you get out of that. This game just feels good to play all the time.
That's kind of what I wanted to get into.
There's very rarely moments where I feel like I've been cheated by the jank in this game.
So one thing I really, really want to add is that I honestly think it's really fucking cool that this game is just you are one and done.
Yeah, this game actually has a clear goal, whereas a lot of these other ones, you're only rewarded by being able to play more. Whereas this one, you have something you work towards. And like this game, part of the criteria of what makes a game Friendslop is simple game mechanics. So I feel like Peak probably has the most depth out of any of these games, really. Like there's survival elements and just platforming, climbing elements, but it's not so complex that you can say like, oh, this is super it's not trying to be Dark Souls. It's still simple enough where you can just jump right in and play it and have fun with it.
Dale and Dawson, Phasmophobia, Among Us, they're pretty exempt, and I mean, I guess Who's Your Daddy, but I think we've long moved on from that.
Yeah.
But, they're pretty exempt from this. But Peak takes the progression element and refines it to the point of you are just doing a single run. You pass, fail, and that's it. And you can play it again. That's cool. It's the same map. And that's pretty interesting because if you actually want to refine your approach, you can do that. We don't, because we're a bunch of plastered idiots. But
again, what's this Wii U shit?
I forget Tony doesn't drink that much anymore.
Me neither.
But if you want to tackle it again, you get the same map and you get to refine how you do things.
So you can be you can learn from your mistakes and try again.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's pass fail. And you have a goal to work towards. It's a singular goal. There's not this multiple nights shit, and then you fuck up, and now you're back to square zero. You still fuck up. You're back to square zero, but you get to take that
you
knowledge.
You can see a goal at the end. You can measure how close
really
you got.
Cool. I really like that.
Yeah,
I like
measure how close you got rather than we got to 10 this time.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get 12 next time instead it's like, oh man, I could see I could see the top of the volcano. We almost got out.
Yeah, maybe we could have if we did this. Yeah.
If I were to dock it for anything, and I'm not necessarily saying whether I am or am not going to do so, I do wish that there was a like NPC enemies aspect to it.
That's
like there's
something
the Scoutmaster.
I
but...
don't want that to become like a defining element of the game. And spoilers for some of you guys, as you haven't Mesa yet, there are a couple of things that show up on that map that are a bit more adversarial. But like, I don't want a situation where it's like, I would want something that's a little more passive in like creating up, like, rather than having like an enemy that's just going to like chase after you and attack you, like something like, oh, maybe there's like monkeys that like toss rocks down.
Right.
It's very much it's you versus nature. Like, I don't really like. I get what you're saying. Like, when we were first playing, I'm like, I wonder if there's gonna be or something. But like, I prefer it just kind of being like it's just nature.
Yeah, which ties right into the whole
I
scouts thing.
You cut out, so I caught.
I know I did. I know I did. I know I did.
We got the picture.
Yeah.
Speaking of like points against it, though, honestly, like none of this is going to drag things down to not give it the ranking that I'm going to give it, just because everything else is so in excess of quality. This one does still have a downtime problem. It is fun, like poking around and talking with people as a ghost, but you're not really doing anything. I would love to see them figure out some clever little idea for the ghosts,
and especially
I think would be able to help out.
You can be dead for like 20+ minutes sometimes if you die early.
Maybe ghosts could have something like a charge of stamina that they could grant like once every so often, like not something huge, but like, you know, like a little bit of extra stamina, so they could do things like, okay, if someone is not quite going to make a climb, they could give them a little boost, or more importantly, if somebody's been like disabled by status effects, like they could give them a little bit of a stamina boost to get them up and moving again.
That would actually, that's something I never fucking thought of. That would actually be really super cool. Like, just ghosts being able to
give people moral support or something.
That would be really neat. The only fucking thing I was thinking of was like if ghosts could just have an option of free roam to like at least
scout out routes and
scout
stuff.
out. Yeah.
I think that might be a little too.
I don't even debatable, but I do like your idea a lot more than mine.
Knowing the right path because a ghost can see it's kind of game breaking.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
having to guess.
Can I, if I can
interject? The part is having to guess, like, should I go left, should I go right, which is going to be the better one.
Yeah, and sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're wrong.
And also they'd be able to scout out. They'd be able to scout out suitcases for you and stuff too. That
there can be other factors that could impact that. But that being said, I absolutely like Bozeman's idea far more than I like mine.
If I would like to add to this, I wouldn't want it to be so, like, being a ghost being so beneficial that people are actually killing themselves so they can be a ghost. Like, it should still be more advantageous to be alive, but yeah, having something more to do than just kind of float around and talk would be nice, though.
And there are a few other negatives, not so much for the gameplay,
yes.
but
yeah.
So big one is what happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure within the first few minutes of this video, or the peak one, was suddenly my mic just stopped working in the game.
Right.
And I couldn't hear or talk to people.
That happened to me once too.
Yeah, and it happened to me too. So it's got to be a
keybind support is also definitely a knock.
Yeah, the fact that I changed, because I like my push to talk, because I don't like people to hear me drinking or eating or whatever.
So this is something I'm recording separately, maybe a week after we made this recording. But yeah, literally a couple of days after we made this recording, they announced their next update where they actually do plan on putting in key bindings and stuff. So this may not, by the time this video comes out, this might not really be relevant anymore, but thought it was important to bring it up though. All right, carrying on.
Other thing
Very
is,
valid.
Other two big ones for me was the main version of the game only supports 4. So again, 5 people show up for our Saturday nights. So, somebody's sitting out.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we do
And
play with
and
Runs can
mods.
be pretty long too.
Runs can be long. You can mod it to get more, but
And we've definitely run
say
into
somebody
problem.
had a little blip, like there's a thunderstorm going out, with brown out. You lose
Yeah.
connection for a bit.
I-
You now cannot get back in.
I definitely think
Yeah.
there should be some work done for drop in, drop out on it. I don't think the
We've-
game is like that, like hardcore about its challenge that drop in, drop out would be an issue, or at the very least, like make the campsites.
Yeah, let it so you can join in
like
as a
a lobby
spectator until you
equivalent.
get to a campsite. Yeah.
I mean, the one time we did play with mods, the only time like similar to R.E.P.O was just a mod to let you have more people playing, and the only time we had a problem was Cough Grover hosting. But
Well, didn't we have to use that mod when I joined you guys?
Yeah,
for the...
during our recording, it happened. And yeah, we
Yeah.
were using the mod then too, and Grover wasn't there. Well, it was working fine
at
until...
least he didn't eat all the food.
Like, it was working
Yeah.
fine until after we got to the first campsite and we revived you. That's when your mic broke. It was, like, right after that. So I don't know if there's some sort of glitch when you die and revive and that type of thing, or what it is. But it definitely is a
I
game
had
issue.
I had an issue where I was a ghost, and then you guys just clearly couldn't.
Yeah, I was going to
At,
bring
like, a
that
certain
up.
point.
Because what fixed it then, we all died, we failed, and then it started working again once we got back to the airport. So
Yeah.
it like has something to do with when the game makes the transition from living and dying. Maybe there's a chance that a glitch can occur that can fuck that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a game issue. It's not. I don't think it's anything on our end,
Yeah.
especially since it's happened to more than one of us. So
Also, just
That's incredibly
aside-
frustrating when you're trying to communicate and
Yes.
no one hears you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
are they just ignoring me now?
Right.
And it's like, oh no, it's something wrong with the game. I have to exit to fix it,
but then
and then
you
I can't
can't
even
jump
test
back
if it
in.
fixed it because I can't come
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah.
Well,
Roger,
I
you've
guess
been
two
really quiet.
2 points I wanted to bring up. One's an aside, one's actually a main point. Main point I wanted to bring up was I do like the suitcase approach where it's less meta progression and more just like as you go on, you just collect new things. Like compare that to R.E.P.O, where it's okay, you have a certain amount of funds to buy a certain amount of things to help you on the next run. I honestly prefer the way Peak handles things, where it's just you find stuff as you go and you get on with it.
You have to MacGyver your way through it.
That works for me better, especially because it produces a lot less fighting over what we want to get. I don't know.
Well, unless you have one person that just eats everything. But,
Yeah,
or one person who takes all the balloons, but I'm gonna stop doing that because I got that achievement and I got my spaceman suit.
me too. I killed myself with that one. I did it on.
I did too.
I did it on
a solo
Alpine.
run and I died.
I did it on Alpine on a solo run earlier tonight, and I died because I got caught by the wind chill.
But yeah, I really like that aspect. I don't even remember what the aside was, but fuck it.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
Yeah,
any,
I'm 1.5 drinks in at this point.
yeah, any other thoughts on this one?
I'll give my last thoughts with my ranking.
okay.
Sure. Well, let's move on to that then.
So, shall we
Andy.
rank? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to go with the 4 for this one. Like, I really think this one is emphasis on friend in Friendslop. And
I like
Yeah,
my
there-
friends.
they're like, I just like everyone said what pretty much what I would say about gameplay stuff. I like this one being like very much about. They encourage not splitting off. I found the hard way by racing to the top and being like, and then get thrown off the top by.
Which,
the
spoiler
scout
alert,
guy.
the next several runs are going to be me splitting off because I want the achievement that
You
gets
want
me
the achievement
the stupid scary eyes that Andy has.
But
Oh my god.
lost my train of thought. Yeah, I mean, just my complaints would be like, I kind of wish there was some more buy, just a few more.
A few more
Like,
what? Biomes?
Biomes.
Okay.
Biomes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there. Obviously,
Yeah,
we're
they're like I said, the game is currently popular, and I'm sure they'll come out with
being
more
actively
updates.
developed.
I'm also trying to temper my rain just because this one's so it's definitely still fun. Whereas a lot of the other ones on the list here we've been playing, and just they've kind of
they've petered
shown-
off. So you feel like this one might do that too?
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see this one being like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
not that excited. I mean, right now I'm currently playing this one,
Yeah.
but I can't quite give it a 5 or even a 4.5.
All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a 5. I mean, yeah, like there's the mic issues that they definitely need to fix. And yeah, it is pretty new and it's easy to fall into the hype, but yeah, I've just had so much fun with it, and I just do think it is a legitimately good game compared to a lot of these other ones. Like, the gameplay mechanics are deeper, and yet it still feels like a proper Friendslop game. So yeah, if I'm gonna give Dale and Dawson a 5, then yeah, I feel like I have to give Peak a 5 too. So that's my 2 cents.
This one's my 5. When we first brought up playing this one, I was like, it was literally just like I looked at the store page and fun, but I don't know if I'm in the mood to add like another of this type of game onto our rotation. But we really didn't have anything else going on that night, so I bit on it.
And it was on sale.
Holy, like $2, whatever. Yeah, holy shit! Like, this game knocked my socks off pretty much immediately. I've been in love with it since then. So the fact that it managed to take me that quickly from 0 to 100 and it hasn't dropped off, yeah, it's a 5 for me.
All right.
This is goddamn. Tony, you're up next.
Time for some more negative.
Roger.
Wow, I see how it is. Like I said, it's a peak
Roger.
game. Please don't tempt me with a good time. But yeah, 5 as well. Same as
Tony.
Same as Bill.
Now it's time for
Same as
negative
both.
Nelly to hit.
Here we go.
So this is the second game I have ever refunded.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't. For the experience that you had, I don't blame you at all for that. It's really unfortunate.
That sucked, especially since we were recording, so we couldn't really justify starting over.
Part of that for the recording part of that was my own fault. I could have just turned on my mic on Discord, like, hey, I can't get in there. Someone start streaming it so I can at least kind of participate. But in my head, it's like, I don't want to interrupt their good time. So I just, got in a bad headspace. But I will give this, because what you guys kind of mentioned, like, I could see the potential. I like the idea that the mechanics actually force you to interact and try to help, like, hey, I can barely make it up the hill. Here, grab my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give this a 1.
That's still lower than I was expecting. Like Tony's sitting there fucking talking it up, and then still is a 1. But that's fair.
Well, it's better than I had more fun with the 10 minutes I played with than I did with R.E.P.O.
That's still fair.
Yep.
I will not hate you for that.
And if it goes on sale again and we're still playing it in the next 5 months, who knows? It's one of these kind of games. Maybe I'll get it again.
All right.
Well, maybe they'll fix the mic issue by then.
Or just have Eric
It's
buy it for
fucking
you.
hilarious because
Eric bought me R.E.P.O. and I told him to take it back.
Tony's the one bringing down the average on this one, and I don't even know how much because I haven't actually calculated it. But yeah, this is the 5 for me. This is my perfect. This is peak, as you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn
Sure,
it,
anyone
Dave!
listening-
You took my joke.
Well,
Sure.
we
No,
made
I
that joke
really
like
just
we
got
made that
it.
joke like from
Everyone
word
is
one.
making that joke.
I was the one who said it. Word 1.
All right.
All right.
We're
Last
point, because I have to pee.
Yeah, we're already like 2.5 hours
I have
in,
to
so
pee really bad.
yeah, we'll make this one quick. I don't think we have a lot to say about it anyway because we haven't played it that much.
No,
But yeah, last train out of Wormtown.
we gave it the old college try.
Yeah.
Let's wait till Dave gets back.
Oh
No.
wait, he left? I thought he was
Yeah,
gonna.
he has to go. No, he said he has to go pee.
Oh, I thought he said we wanted to move on so we can get done with it.
No,
so
he's going to go pee right now.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna pee.
In fact,
right here.
It's happening right now. Everywhere.
All right. Did some? I'm assuming at least.
So
one
how do we
recording.
feel about last
like
train out of Wormtown?
Boy, I have to feel like I have to take responsibility for this one because I was the one who put it up to play.
It's okay.
You do. You did this, Roger.
I don't hate it. I really don't. There's lots and lots of problems with it, but it is a completely unique concept for these types of games, so that's a point in its favor.
Being based off of Tremors helps too.
Yes, which is a. I think
God, you know me and Tremors.
Its biggest problem is that like the developer kind of forgot that Friendslop thrives on simplicity in like actual gameplay controls. Like there's just a little too much going on with the way you control your character, the things you can do, regardless of whether you're a partner or worm. But the concept taps into something so fundamental of like playing that like going back to like the fucking playground, like somebody gets to pretend to be a monster, like dragging their friends off the playground, like that kind of a thing is for me like fertile ground, right? For exactly the kind of interactions that you want out of these types of games, and then you're just dragged down by like, oh well, to bring the cow fairies to the train, I have to grab the dandelions and equip the dandelions on the back, and then I can throw dandelions, but I can also still pick up items and put them on my back.
So what I'm gonna say is gonna amount to a net neutral on this point. I don't think they necessarily failed on the simplicity. I think they failed on the intuitive controls.
Oh yeah, it went against everything you typically would expect for that kind of game.
I don't think the mechanics are inherently complex. I think they just absolutely fucking blew it on how you operate this game.
Yeah, kind of agreeing there because I had no idea that's how you got those cow fairies to the train.
I think the
one time I played with some of you guys was like, oh, I'm gonna go look for some stuff. I think I was looking for sarsaparilla, and it's like come back, and suddenly it's like, oh, there are now cows tied to the train. Okay.
That's how it went for me.
I think the worm by far and away has the advantage when it comes to controls. I think the worm's controls are, while still not great on the intuitive aspect, I think they're a lot more functional than the partners.
I mean, the basic way partners move around is not hard. It's more like the interaction.
But the inventory system.
Yeah, the interacting.
The inventory system is ass.
Yeah.
It's not great. Also, I've never played the worm, but like the one time I played with you guys, it seemed like the first person that was the worm was like basic worm. All they could do is like jump, try to eat a drag around. Then when you played the worm, Dave, you suddenly had the ability to like create a wall of slime.
They don't necessarily tell you about that, but you can swap the worm's abilities, and I think that is really cool. But some of them are
the shit you were throwing at us was way more powerful than the basic stuff that
very
put it by default. Something else too. This hasn't come up in the discussion at all. Really funny because like half of the fucking games on this list, it's a huge component of the fun for the game. How do you try and tackle this trend and fuck up the in-game voice chat that badly?
Right.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was one of my biggest complaints to begin with.
Yeah, we didn't even use that, did we?
Especially
Discord. Yeah.
because it's so bad.
Especially
you can be within
with like
5 feet of each other, and you just still can't fucking hear each other.
The whole game is like the big point of how the game works is like it's based on sound too, like literally the worm. But like nobody else, like sound is not significant because the mic info is, or the mic proximity is so bad.
Yeah, and there's, as far as I could see, there was no way to like increase or decrease the proximity chat. Like,
No.
I can understand it, like, if I could change it, but yeah, when I was setting up the lobby, I couldn't see anything about it, so.
And, like, this game does play a little bit counter to some of the, like, Friendslop norms, in that there is no progression. Like, not even just in a single run sense, because there's really no single run. It's just
No, it's more of like
a match of
it's
you.
a multiplayer arena.
Yeah, it's a match of you and some other partners against the worm, and that's it. Like, there's no escalation, and that's fine.
But that's why I see this one getting boring
a little.
very fast.
Well, it's very much like the Friday the 13th game, or what is it, Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like those ones where I absolutely love the Friday the 13th one. It's a shame that one never really got off the ground because of copyright issues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I unironically would love to do Dead by Daylight with this crew, but I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
I'll be honest.
Sale prices do bring it down pretty cheap, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I've seen gameplay footage of it, and it just does not look appealing to me in the slightest at all.
I think there's some fun aspects, and most of it is like meta jokes. Like, just, I mean, the fact that you can play as fucking Wesker, or was it? Is it Dracula or is it Alucard?
Probably both, with how many crossovers that game has.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to, but I don't ever see it happening, despite how cheap.
But let us move on.
Gets.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
Back to Wormtown.
Back to Wormtown. I mean,
Wormtown.
Yeah, this one is also pretty dang new. I think it's like it came out in between R.E.P.O and Peak, right?
Yeah, I was surprised to find out.
Peak,
I was surprised to find out it came out before.
Oh, it came out.
Peak.
You're right. It did come out before Peak. So maybe a little too.
I think we just haven't played it as much as.
And we haven't played it as much.
Well, no, it didn't. It really didn't get advertised until.
Yeah, I never heard about it until Roger posted about it.
I only saw it because my streamer, I saw him play it. I'm like, oh, that looks fun.
I'm willing to keep an eye on it and give it a go every so often if it's still getting updated. Maybe it addresses some of the major problems that they have with it.
At least only one person needs to have the game. That's
a
major
yes.
selling.
That big saving grace is the fact that only I had to buy it, and everyone else just had to download essentially a free copy of it, and they can play with me.
Mm-hmm.
Once I've adjusted to the controls, which I still don't like, and they are still going to take a heavy fucking factor into the score. Once I adjusted to the controls, things definitely did get a lot better. I do think the game is skewed towards playing as the worm being a lot more fun and intuitive. Though I will say, where are the fucking rings?
Right?
What rings?
I told you you need to boot up Superman 64.
All right,
dude,
let's wrap.
That would be the most meta shit ever if this game actually required you to bring up a fucking emulator for N64,
Christ.
Load up Superman 64 just to make the fucking rings appear to regain your health as the worm. And if that were actually the case,
Dave, shut up! I want to go to bed.
Yeah, this video is ridiculously long. So yeah, let's wrap.
All right, ranking Andy.
I'm gonna give this one a 2.
All right, Nick.
I'm actually gonna abstain because I only played it once and I was really shit-faced drunk. So I don't think it would be fair. I will say, from what I have seen, from what you guys said, like it's not that. It's not like that great, but
is actually utilizing their right to abstain.
So yeah, I don't think it would be fair for me to give this one a score at all. So I'm gonna abstain.
I feel like I've abstained for like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Well, but those are ones you haven't played. like, this is one that I have played, but I'm still gonna abstain anyway.
And I still think it's
Yeah.
fair to rank it even if you haven't played it.
I'll give this one a 2.
Yeah, get out.
3.
I think I'm next then, right? I'm gonna go 2 with like an asterisk. I think there's potential for it to be fun. I do like that it's free.
Mine's
Yeah.
pretty much the same. 2 with an asterisk. I think that it can improve.
But
only
I have a
well.
feeling that ain't gonna change because I doubt we're gonna play it again. Sounds like.
I'm gonna give it a 2.1.
Jesus.
Wow, even when I'm not being more optimistic, I'm giving it a lower score than you.
I can't believe that's like, besides Phasmo, that's the highest score you've given tonight.
Yup. No, I think I gave Dale like a 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
gave
right,
Dale
that's
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he approved of Dale.
I forgot.
I mean, who doesn't approve of Dale?
I mean, if we're
Yeah,
just doing it based
you
on the
sure
5-point scale, yeah, mine are gonna. I don't like decimals too much, so I try to 3 is like kind of a little above average, 2 is kind of
Yep.
below average.
Okay,
Alright, you're
that's,
gonna need to give me a moment to actually calculate these. Whether you want to put this in the editing or not is up to you, but I need a second. Alright.
There will be no future discussion of this. I'm
All
sure.
right. Drum roll, please.
Alright, the Dave machine has been run.
We're going from
And
bottom
whether
to
it's
top, right?
whether it's accurate or not, we'll let
Yep.
the viewers at home decide.
Go bottom
Bottom
up.
to top.
Or
Yep.
bottom to top. Fuck, I'm doing this in a fucking notepad.
Well, just look at the number and start with the lowest number.
No, I'm just gonna go bottom
Damn
or
it.
top to bottom.
All right, fine, whatever.
Yeah, just listen to mine.
Nick, bring up your fucking tier list and arrange accordingly. So we've got Who's Your Daddy clocking in at a 1.116 average.
I feel like you could have rounded that to just 1 decimal point.
I did round it. Not to 1 decimal point, but I rounded it. We have Among Us clocking in at a 3.3.
Amogus.
That's
With
quite the jump.
Phasmophobia hitting a 3.5. Lethal Company at a 2.83.
Mm.
Definitely
That
thought
was
would-
definitely a repeating.
I definitely thought that would break 3 points, but
We have Content Warning at a drum roll, please.
No.
4.15. No, not 1.5. Just 4.1. 4.1. But either
Okay.
way, 4.1 is pretty fucking high so far.
it is.
Liar's Bar clocking in at a fairly biased 3.
Put an asterisk on Liar's Bar, though.
Dale and Dawson 4.3.
All right.
Wow.
I think that's going to be our winner tonight.
Probably.
R.E.P.O at a 3.16 repeating.
Yep.
Peak.
The Tony factor.
This is it. This is it.
Peak actually quite literally is the Tony factor because it clocks in at a 4.16 when
Fuck
in
you, Peak.
all regards, Peak would have had this, except Tony fucked it.
I love it.
Make
I'm
a
not
better
even
game,
gonna blame him.
makers.
I'm not even gonna blame him, but Tony fucked it. And then Wormtown at a 2.22.
That seems
On the
high.
nose.
I even gave it like high or normal. That seems high.
Well, I mean, I think everyone kind of give it to, like,
Wormtown was
like
not
twos.
even the lowest.
Wait,
No,
Who's
of
Your
course it
Daddy?
wasn't. Fucking Who's Your Daddy's
Yeah.
on the list.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, dude.
Who's Your Daddy
That doesn't surprise me.
was the lowest of the low when it comes to Friendslop. I second that asterisk on Liar's Bar because I question it being on the list, but I did not stop it from being on the list because I felt that was important to the discussion.
Already?
All
When did
right.
you fucking add that sound effect?
It's one of the generic ones.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well,
Yes.
I don't know how if we're gonna just
Along with
literally
that,
release it as
along
a
with
3-hour video, or if we're gonna split this up.
That's up to.
We just hard cut to you couldn't see my ass.
No.
All right.
That is getting comfy. Pillow talk. Our opinions on Friendslop games. Do you have your opinions on Friendslop? Like, comment, and subscribe. I say that ironically, but in all
Too long
honesty,
didn't
I
read
mean
version.
it because apparently, if you like, comment, and subscribe, it impacts the algorithm. So, fucking do it. Fucking do it. If you
For the
give
algorithm.
any single amount
For
of
the
shit
algorithm.
about what we do, if you're one of the 5 people that give a single modicum of fuck about what we do,
That are all in
Do
this
it.
chat right now.
Nut.
Yep.
Nut.
Too long didn't read version.
All right,
People
well-
here seem to like Friendslop except me.
you couldn't see
Hey.
my ass.
All right.
All right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Good night,
Thank
ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
y'all. Thank y'all for showing up.
I'm EP. Good night.
Good
Yeah,
night.
good night.
You couldn't see my ass, aber ja, Riemen mussten weg. Ich kenn nicht das Leben an, und ich wär's bereit. Niemals, warum du meine immer wenig bist? Die Scheiß ins Blau, wie den Radifeis. Tokens to listen. You couldn't see my ass.